Ooh, we're a minute late. That is my bad. Welcome to another evening of Mastermind Academy. Welcome to the Python boot camp of Mastermind Academy. How's everyone doing tonight? Happy New Year, Iman. 1 second, just getting set up. Let me know how the sound. You know how the sound is. 60 seconds of my life I'll never get back. Oh, you're a hater. First off, I'm gonna wait till a few more people are on here. We're gonna give people a few minutes to get in here. But I'm mad at everybody. I'll let you know why I'm mad at everyone in a second. Yeah, sorry I was a minute late. That's my bad. Mostly, I've got the trifecta of LaCroix today. So the trifecta of TV static. I've got lime. This one's almost done. I've got orange to keep me hydrated and lemon. I'm probably gonna go with the lemon after the lime and then the orange last. You know, if I get a little parched. But yeah, I'm sorry. I had to run down to the fridge and get these because I needed them real bad. But yes, I'm not mad at you for any of those reasons. What I'm mad at you for is my starting soon intro. No one told me that I spelled the word starting wrong. And it's very interesting that I guess no one pays attention to the starting soon, but I don't know how I spelled it wrong. I spelled it starting, but I'm just gonna leave it for now. I don't feel like re-rendering out that little bit of clip, but I'm mad at everyone for not taking care of me on that one. Let's see here. So first thing I'm gonna do is I lied to everyone yesterday. That's my bad. I really apologize for it. What I did not do after I got off stream is I ended up me and my wife were talking about some things, and I did not send out an updated email. So I'm going to do it right now. So if you are subscribed, there's an email coming out right now. People claim they didn't get the first one. I talked to some people. Check your spam filters. Check your promotional inboxes. I'm going to go ahead right now before we even get started, and I'm going to send out another Twitch email. The email will be from Twitch. It won't be from Mastermind. It'll be from Twitch for people who are still trying to get in the Google Classroom. Let me know if you got it. If you didn't get it, let me know you didn't get it. But I think you should be fine. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna resend out the same one. It's gonna have the information for both the DevOps and the Python one. People are definitely getting in, so it's going out. It's definitely going out. But I'm gonna go ahead and send one more right now so that people can't say they didn't get it. Hopefully you guys will be able to get in. Let's see, Twitch. Turn this down a little bit. But how's everyone doing tonight? I'm very interested to know how you guys are doing tonight. I am doing good. It feels like the end of the week, I guess, because we started streaming on Sunday. It feels like it's Friday to me. It feels like Thursday or Friday. Whoa, what is this? Yeah, it feels like it's Friday, so it's a little bit weird right now, even though there's 2 more days of the week left. And how do I get into? I really got to get my Twitch chops up. There's so much you can do, and sometimes I struggle with all the different things you can do on here. Let's see, Stream Manager, Insights, Summary. That feels right. That's not right. Or is it? Hold on. Let's get back to where I was yesterday. It's under analytics. Yeah, here goes. Sending email to my subs. So, message title. DevOps. Python. Actually, I'm just going to call it the title. The message title is going to be Google Classroom for all! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. I'm gonna paste this in so you can search your inbox. Yes, you do have to. You got to be subscribed to get into the Google Classroom. So this email is only going to go out to those people. But this is what it'll be on your inbox. I'm sending it right now. It also comes to me, so hopefully it's there. So it is there. It's there now. I'll send it out one more time. I'll spam you guys one more time a little bit later. And then after that, I've actually wrote a little script that's going to keep track of people who subscribe per night. And at the end, I'll get it out to them specifically in Twitch. So I got the email in my personal one. So check your email now. Check your what's it called? Your spam. Check your promotional folder or whatever. You should have just gotten it. And let me send it to you two really quick. Second. Just trying to get everyone up to speed. So what the Google Classroom, for anyone who doesn't know what the Google Classroom will have inside of it, is it's gonna have extra resources per week. It's gonna have things like quizzes. It's gonna have things like links to podcasts, links to videos, links to extra projects, things like that. So let me go ahead and get it out to you all. Got it again, gracias, perfect. Let me send these out, 1 second. Can I send it right from here? Add in friends, and I'll get you the links to those things soon. It should be coming in shortly for a couple people who just subscribed. Thank you for the subscriptions. I really appreciate it. Definitely helps me to do this, to continue to do this. All right. So tonight, what are we doing tonight? Let me just get everything back up. What are we doing tonight? So tonight we are finally going to start talking about Python. This is the Python bootcamp. We have not yet really, we haven't dived or diven or dove. We haven't yet dove into Python. I don't really know what the right English word is for that, but tonight we're going to dive into Python. We kind of did an intro to programming as a whole. We're gonna dive into Python tonight, the specifics of Python, learn a little bit about its history. We're gonna get it installed. It's already installed on my machine, but I'll show you how to get it installed. We're gonna get our editor set up, and then we're gonna mess around. Most of the meat and potatoes starts coming next class, but we're gonna mess around tonight. Where I'm gonna show you some cool things. We're gonna get some plugins and things installed. We did a little bit of a mini editor war last night on the DevOps one. We'll check out some editors tonight. I can show you kind of some differences on how syntax highlighting works and some of the different features between the different editors you have available to you. But that is what we will be doing tonight. Still didn't get the email. Is there a way to just directly link? Yeah, via Whisper. Yes, I will whisper it to you if I know how to whisper it to you. Let's see. 1 second. Will it let me whisper if? Oh, there we go. Whisper. Perfect. Got it. It's on the way. But it might be from is this my real what account is this? Why didn't it let me whisper from? Here you go. Hold on. The whisper's coming. Whisper's incoming. Sorry. How did that work? This feels weird going to my own stream, because that's the only way it seems to let me whisper it to you, and I can just click your name. That's the only way I can hear myself. Okay, here we go. We're gonna whisper it to you now. Sorry about this, everyone. This is why, this exact reason is why I'm trying to get the Discord set up. So there is Discord information now. I'll get you the Discord information because the Discord will allow me to show everyone who subscribed how to just find, using the Twitch integration with the Discord integration. It'll let you see the channels that you're subscribed to, and it'll allow you into the Discord. And then I can just post it in the Discord for anyone who has access to get into, so that I don't have to do this. But I didn't do it in time. So get it. Here we go. Got it. Some people are going to get whispers from my personal account, because you sent this before I could find your name. There you go. You should have it, Iman, now. Love Zealous. You should have it too in a second. I can't see around this monitor. You should have it as well. Everyone who just subscribed should now have it. This is a tedious process. All right, everybody should be good. Everyone should be good to go. If not, next time as soon as we get to a break point, I'll definitely take care of you. We'll get going when we get to a break point. We're gonna get started tonight. So tonight's Python. We can finally do some Python. We're gonna get hands on. So tonight, You're gonna also hopefully, if you don't already have Python installed, we're gonna try to get Python installed together. So do your best if you can to try to follow along. Again, don't sweat it. If you're running into problems, that's what we're going to use the Slack for. That's what we're going to use the chat for to move along. But I'll try to go at a steady pace. That's why I left a lot open tonight, because people do have some issues getting Python installed sometimes, getting editors installed sometimes. So tonight's for you to be hands-on though. So a lot of you might already have this done, but if you don't, definitely feel free to try to follow along with this, and let's see what we can get done. All right, I'm going to send it there. Discord. I didn't put the Discord link in the chat commands yet. I can get that in there. I'm going to put over Linux. Be back. Awesome Fire Mixtape. What is the class code? It should be in that message that I just sent you. They're both at the bottom. Oh wow, actually. Oh, I guess you know what? I guess there's a limited number of characters I can send. Hold on. Incoming. It cut off most of the message. There you go. There's a class code. It formats it bad, but the class code is there for the people that. There you go. The class code should be in that message that I just sent over. That's my bad. Cool. Do I have slides tonight? Yeah. Let me go ahead and share the slides with you. The slides tonight are pretty chill. Because again, tonight's just going to be kind of getting our computer set up, talking about Python, messing around a little bit. You should mess around too. Mastermind, more. Anyone with the link, go ahead and head over to the slides there. Real chill slides. No, not too many. There's only a couple slides tonight. Let's see. How many are there? There are 9. There are 9 slides. One or two of the slides you've actually seen before. Let's go ahead and let's get started, because this is gonna be real chill. Tonight, we're definitely not taking 3 hours tonight. We're definitely gonna be taking less than 2 hours. But again, we can stick around for a while. This right here is supposed to be a snake emoji, but I think I know why that broke. And I think there's a reason why it shouldn't be a snake emoji, and you're gonna find that out in a second. So very, very simple. We talked about what programming was. We talked about the different programming language types and compiled languages versus interpreted languages, statically typed versus dynamically typed languages. Actually, let me pull this up to make sure. Yep, that's why I want to pull this back up. I'm broken. Let's see. Hold on. Am I back? Did I ever go away, or was that just me? My monitor looked like I was gone for a second. All right, I think we're good. Oh, all right. Now it looks stupid. All good. Before you start, what's the difference between DevOps and this class? So the DevOps course is it has a lot more broad topics. We talk about things like cloud computing. We do a little bit of programming, CI/CD. We talk about monitoring. We talk about logging. We talk about a bunch of different stuff. Automation, infrastructure as code. So it's a much broader topic. This one is more centralized, and we go a little bit deeper. So this is just programming. That one is a bunch of different things. So cool. Am I the only one that lost the live feed? No, I lost it for a little bit. I'm sorry. I wasn't monitoring it, but I am monitoring it now. And again, this is because I'm on Wi-Fi, but I do have Ethernet coming soon. You know, they got to get Ethernet installed in here, but I will be getting Ethernet installed. All right. So Python. What is Python? Python is an interpreted. Remember, we talked about that. It is an interpreted, high-level, general-purpose programming language. Again, these are my famous Google results. I Googled this, and this is what came up in the corner. And I think there's definitely more to this. There's an entire Wikipedia page on it. We don't care about that. This is all we care about right now. It is interpreted. That's very important. Dynamically typed, high-level, general-purpose programming language. It is very, very popular. It was created by Guido van Rossum. And first released in 1991. So, interesting thing is Guido just stepped down. He just kind of retired from Python due to some changes in Python 3. yeah, due to some changes in Python 3, etc. He got a little, he kind of stepped away from kind of being the lead on the project. But yeah, that's all Python is. Pretty simple. All right. What is Python used for? So we're learning Python, but what can we use? Like, what can we use it for? What can we create with Python? Python's commonly used for web development and developing web applications. I don't even know why I wrote it like that. Web development, web application. Yeah, so it's commonly used for web development and web applications. There are some good Python frameworks for building web applications, APIs. Again, we'll talk about what APIs are. Write that down if you're, I said keep an eye on things that you don't know anything about. Write API down because we'll definitely be going over that. Something that you'll need to know. But there's frameworks like Django and Flask, which makes that easy. But you can do web stuff with Python. Internet of Things. I put this on here. These are in no particular order at all, because probably machine learning and data science will probably be number one. But Internet of Things. So things like the Internet of Things is the connected device world. So your Nest and your Google Home and all these devices that can talk to each other over the internet to do cool things to automate your life. Python is commonly used to do that, to write the code that powers those things. Scripting and automation. Like, a lot of people will actually call Python a scripting language. I mainly use it for scripting. I prefer other languages for building out complete applications, but scripting and automation, it's amazing for scripting and automation, and it is used very heavily in scripting and automation. And then machine learning and data science, that should probably be at the top, but like, Python is kind of synonymous with machine learning and data science right now. There are some other frameworks coming out for other languages, but by far the most popular packages, the most popular libraries for machine learning and data science are in Python. So if you are interested in machine learning and data science, Python is what you want to learn, and this is definitely the course for you. It's got more use cases, but I would say that these are the 4 most popular use cases of Python. Yeah, Python and TensorFlow. Yeah, TensorFlow is, we'll go over TensorFlow in a little bit. I'll show some people some of these frameworks and stuff just to check it out. I mean, we want to expand your horizons, give you an opportunity to check out some things. Maybe, if you're just learning Python, maybe you'll realize what you really love is machine learning and data science, and you can hop into TensorFlow and learn some stuff. But Python 3, what about Python 2? Or Python 1 for that matter? So, Python 2, you just missed it. Python 2 actually just went end of life January 1st of 2020. What does that mean? It means that Python 2 will not be receiving any security updates, even though that's not true. They're actually going to be doing a final release like in June or July or something like that, like one final big release. But for the most part, it's not being supported anymore. There shouldn't be any new functionality, new security patches, things like that. But you just missed it. Python 2 is out of there. And so now we're on Python 3. End of life, again, means Python 2 will not receive any additional updates, including security updates. But here's the problem. Here's the problem when that happens. Usually when you move from the second iteration to the third iteration of something, especially in the software world, it's usually backwards compatible, or at least you want it to be backwards compatible. Python 3 is not completely backwards compatible. It's got some elements that are backwards compatible, but it's not completely backwards compatible. And because of this, it took people, a lot of people didn't work on making the jump beforehand. They had built these robust applications in Python 2, and it's expensive to go back and refactor and figure out what to do to get your stuff Python 3 ready. But a lot of companies had to go and do that. And so there's a lot of drama in the Python 2, Python 3 switchover stuff going on. But it's not completely backwards compatible, so everything will not work. And then Python 3.5 and up will be the only versions that are supported now. Again, this is with an asterisk by it. Python will get one final update, at least from what I was reading. It'll get some kind of final update in June or July, which is it's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. But yeah. So Python 3, it provides a lot of, new ways of doing things, which are cool. Well, yeah, that's the difference. Just that's all you need to know about it. That Python 2 is end of life. That it was a thing. That Python 2 and Python 3 are Python 3 is not completely backwards compatible to Python 2. So you might hear people, speak strongly about it. You may go to an interview and someone may tell you, most of our stuff is written in Python 2. And that's your cue to be able to talk about like, oh, wow. Like, well, so what are the plans on, getting everything up to speed in Python 3, or like, how far along are you? Or what do you, what's the goal here? So it gives you something to talk about, even if you don't really know the difference between Python 2 and Python 3. Now, they're not fully compatible. And that if someone tells you all of their stuff is in Python 2, that they need to move to Python 3, and that it's probably a burden. So it's a good speaking point. Yeah. So let's see here. So we talked about interpreted languages versus compiled languages last time, and Python is an interpreted language. And so what it does is it provides us with an interpreter. Python provides you with a REPL interpreter. This is a read, evaluate, print loop. So it's basically reading and evaluating and printing out after it reads into code, it reads into things that you type into it, that source code that you pass to it. It evaluates it, it prints it out for you, and it's a loop. It just keeps doing that. It'll send you back to the line so you can read in your data. It'll evaluate it. It'll print it out for you. And so that's something that they provide to you to be able to test things, to be able to help debug, help you be able to learn, help you figure out what's the actions your applications are going to take. And we used it already yesterday and the day before, but we'll hop into the REPL. We'll hop into the interpreter and check that out. We'll be using the interpreter a lot tonight. And the interpreter allows you to interact with code without having to write files to the disk. So instead of having to, open up a text editor and create a new file and type into that file and save it to the disk and then run it, the interpreter allows you to be able to hop straight into it and send it your code, type in some code, and again, it will read it, evaluate it, and print it out for you. So that's all the interpreter is. And, we got our woman over here. She's interpreting all the things that I'm pretty sure there's a Lil Wayne concert. I'm pretty sure this was super popular at the time. But yeah, she's getting it. The interpreter is the same way. All right, we're about to hop into the interpreter so that we can take a look at the Zen of Python. So Python was created on a base set of principles. Whether or not Python has stuck to those principles, I think it's a little bit debatable. But it has 19 guiding principles. So we're going to go ahead and hop straight into the interpreter. I told you we're going to be doing some stuff tonight. So we're going to hop straight into the interpreter. So you won't be able to do this if you don't have Python installed yet, but just save this for later. I'm only going to type one thing in here. You can try typing it in later if you want to see these principles. So let's hop into, let's scroll down. That's clear. Oh, I told you I can't type. I'm really bad. All right. So to get into your interpreter, just type in Python. So currently still, if you have a newer computer, especially a newer Mac, you might not have Python 2 installed at all. But if I just do Python, this is actually going to use Python 2. So what you're going to commonly see me do is type in Python 3. Because this will allow me to use the updated version of Python. Both will work for this, but I just want to get into the habit, and I want you to get to the habit of using Python 3. And when we set this up, we're gonna make it, I'll show you how you can make it so that you don't have to type in Python 3, you can just type in Python. But yes, this is in the command window on a Windows machine. This will be in the command line, either the CMD prompt or PowerShell. But if you don't have it installed yet, then this obviously won't work. But we're going to get it installed. I just want to show you the Zen of Python. But basically what you can do from the command line, the command prompt, or the terminal is you can go ahead and type in Python 3, and that will drop you, again, into the REPL interpreter, the read, evaluate, print loop. And so it's giving us the space here to go ahead and type in something so that it can read it, and then evaluate it, and then print out what it evaluates, and then loop back over and give you a chance to do it again. Python. Python allows you to, you don't have to do everything from scratch. Python allows you to basically use other people's packages. Most programming languages allow for this, but they allow you to use other people's packages, and to do that, you import it. So what we're going to do is we are going to type in the command, basically import, and the package that the package that we're going to be importing is a package called this. And this package is simply all that package is a package that displays the 19 guiding principles of Python. So write that down, write down import this. And once we get this installed on your computer, go ahead and type in import this and go ahead and hit enter. And when you hit enter, you can see here, a bunch of stuff spits out. This is simple Python code. This is simple, these are simple print statements, or maybe just one, or who knows how it's set up. We can check out the code for this. But this is the Zen of Python, written by Tim Peters. And again, these are those 19 guiding principles. Pretty sure there are 19 in here. But let's go through them, read them a little bit, maybe interpret them a little bit. I'm not sure I can interpret all of them for you. I haven't read them in a long time. I read them a long time ago. But let's go ahead and interpret them and figure out what they mean. Beautiful is better than ugly. Yeah. This isn't talking about the application that you make and the GUI and the way it looks. This is talking about your code. That beautiful code is better than ugly code. It's a generic statement, something that makes a little more sense as you start getting into writing code and the way you format things. Python is a language that is dependent upon white space and formatting, so your indentation matters. If anyone's ever written any YAML, it's kind of similar to that. And so you have some flexibility over this, but beautiful is better than ugly, and that's the very first of the 19 Zen stuff. Explicit is better than implicit. So explicit versus implicit. Explicit is I hate when I struggle to explain something without using the same word to explain it. But explicit is being intentional about what you're doing and describing and saying exactly what you're doing, rather than allowing the code to kind of figure those things out or interpret it. And so that's just letting you know in your code, if you're ever not sure what you should do, it's better to be explicit and make sure that everyone can understand exactly what you're doing, rather than be implicit and hope that people can interpret the things that you are doing. Simple is better than complex. Again, you have so much freedom when you're writing code. There's so many ways to solve a problem using the tools that you have available to you, and simple is better than complex. If you can make it simple, make it simple. There's no need to make it complex. Again, that's for a lot of reasons, for maintenance reasons, for runtime reasons. There's a lot of reasons, but simple is almost always better than complex. That's the top 3. I see a bunch of people asking questions. Let's see what we're asking. What's the difference between PowerShell, Command Prompt, and VS Code and Windows Machine? PowerShell and Command Prompt they're very different. Well, they're different, but outside of Python. So Python should work fine in either one. Same as VS Code. Yeah, in all 3 of those, they should be fine. Because the PowerShell and Command Prompt are going to be what's available inside of VS Code. PowerShell is a shell that has script. Oh, you guys got all the answers here. But yeah, in terms of Python, you should just be able to, whenever you install it, you should be able to use either Command Prompt or PowerShell to go ahead and do that. And it should work fine in both of them, I'm pretty sure. One may give you a weird path error, but try the other one if it doesn't work immediately. Let's see. Should we be installing 3.8, 3.76? I don't know what the current stable version is, but I think anything past 3.7 is fine. We can check it in a second. We're going to get there for sure. Cool. To do WSL for the Python stuff on Windows. Yeah, if you have the Windows subsystem for Linux, I highly recommend that you use the Windows subsystem for Linux. Again, you don't need to sweat it right now, but maybe write down WSL. And maybe research it after this. Maybe we can hop into some links and I can show you how to get that set up. I could take a minute and show the class, but yeah, I can do it in a little bit. We're gonna get to the Python installation, but I wonder if I can. I'll try to get an input on my Windows machine without breaking all the stuff to show you how to do that. will make changes to my actual machine. I'm guessing that's why IDEs exist, so you can edit and deploy code without the risk of making changes to one's machine. I'm not sure what you mean by that. No matter what, you'll have to install Python on your machine. So changes to your machine, the only change to your machine is that it is installing this application onto your machine, which is Python. And IDE won't change that. Either way, you will have to make changes. You have to install this on your machine. All right, cool. Let's keep going, and we'll get to the installation phase. All right, let's talk about, let's keep running through this list of commands. So complex is better than complicated. Flat is better than nested. Sure. So again, this has to do with this has to do a little bit with scoping, and we're going to talk about scoping. This has a little bit to do with again, your code design and how you decide to encapsulate things. Mostly has to do with scoping. They're saying flat, so having one level or one or two levels, having less levels of code is better than having a lot of code that exists inside of each other, and that'll make more sense a little bit later as we get deeper into the course. And maybe we'll revisit this every so often so that we can see how some of this makes sense. Sparse is better than dense. Again, so this is another both a white space thing as well as kind of an ethos about simplicity. But because you have some flexibility over the way that your code is kind of spaced out, because white space matters, because indentation and formatting in Python matters. Saying sparse is better than dense in that spreading out your code makes it a little bit easier to read, but also that you don't need, if you can avoid having a bunch of code together, a dense setup of code together, that's probably going to cause you problems, probably going to make things pretty complicated. And again, it has to do with readability as well. Oh, we've got a war already going. Two spaces, fight me. I'm cool with the two spaces argument. I'll do whatever people like, as long as we set those expectations at the beginning. I'm cool with spaces. I'm cool with tabs. Doesn't really matter to me. I can automate either one. But I typically do tabs, to be honest. But two spaces is fine. I'm cool with that. Definitely cool with that. All right. Readability counts. So readability is important. So readability refers to when someone looks at your code, how easy is it to make out what it's doing? How easy is it for someone who's never seen this code before to look at it and know what it's doing? Readability is important. A good readability is sometimes really hard to do, especially if you're trying to solve complex problems. But this statement is just saying that it does count. So it's something you should think about. You can absolutely write completely unreadable working code that's super complicated and that no one can understand. Readability counts, and you should think about it while you are writing your code. Special cases aren't special enough to break the rules. This one is mostly true. I think this is mostly true when you do not have a client. If you're working on something and you don't have clients and deadlines, this is mostly true. But this is something you should try to subscribe to, that special cases aren't special enough to break the rules. So if you ever want to break any of these rules and you want to, have super complicated, unreadable code because it solves your problem, in this case, we're basically saying, hey, try to get out of that mindset. Try not to do that, because the rules are there for a reason. Try not to break them, because it makes it harder for everyone. Makes it harder for your future self as well. Although practicality beats purity, and these kind of go together. We can dive a little bit deeper into that. Again, you want to be practical rather than rely on the base level things and strictly adhere to the ethos of Python. Again, you want to be practical. It's all about finding a balance. Errors should never pass silently. We're going to learn about errors in this course for sure. But when there are errors, they shouldn't just be ignored. They shouldn't just go away. They should be handled. I think it says it in the next thing. But yeah, errors should be taken care of. Errors should either be displayed to the user or handled in a way you should use them. You shouldn't just ignore them because that can be problematic. Unless explicitly silenced. So maybe there are times when you're expecting possible errors and you know those errors either shouldn't break your code or things like that. But again, this is, even if you explicitly silence them, that is still handling errors. So you shouldn't allow code to break and for you to do anything with it unless you're confident enough that you can actively ignore it. In the face of ambiguity, refuse the temptation to guess. So if you're not sure what's going on, if you're not 100% sure and things are a little bit vague, again, this is an interesting ethos to me, but refuse the temptation to guess because guessing causes a lot of problems, especially with debugging, especially with knowing how the code works. So that's something you want to try to do, I guess, in Python. Some of these I don't really strongly agree to, but again, these are the Python guiding principles. So these are the ones, again, that they've tried to pass to the users of Python. There should be one and preferably only one obvious way to do it. This is not true. It should be. It's very interesting because I think this is a little more true in a language like Go. But there should be one obvious way to do it. Unfortunately, that's not true. And it's interesting that this is in here because it kind of goes, they wouldn't have had to say a bunch of the things that they said up here if this was the case. But yeah, yes, there should be, but again, there are lots of ways to do things, especially in Python. Although that may not be obvious at first, unless you're Dutch, I don't actually know what that means. So let's go ahead and look that up because again, remember I told you everyone does not know everything. If anyone knows what that means, throw it in the chat. We're gonna go ahead and copy that, and we're gonna go ahead and paste it because I'm interested to know what that means. It's been a long time since I looked at this. All right. Let's look at Stack Exchange. You'll be using Stack Exchange for the rest of your life if you're really gonna get in this programming thing. Stack Exchange is gonna give us some answers. First to the previous line, obviously, it's been argued that it's a reference to, I don't know how to pronounce this, thoughts on language design as expressed in his comments for the green language. We're not reading this. Well, I'm not reading this. I'll paste it if you want to know what that line means. I don't know what that line means. And I'll read it a little bit later so that I can know what that line means. Now is better than ever. This is a good ethos for any development project, for any language. Doing something now, refactoring now, solving a problem now is better than doing it later because you'll never go back and do it. 98% of the time, you won't go back and do it later. So now is better than never, and that's perfect. Now is better than never because if you don't do it now, you'll never do it. Although never is often better than right now, which is interesting. And I think that's an ode to not doing it right now so that you have time to think about it, so that you have time to make sure your plans are well thought out. I think the now that's focused here after reading this line is just saying in the current time span of things that you're working on, this should be a focus, but it doesn't need to be right at this moment because you'll probably do it wrong and it might not be the right answer. Take some time to think about it. If the implementation is hard to explain, it's a bad idea. That's generally true. I think that is generally true. I think it depends on what you're working on, but if the implementation is hard to explain, it's probably a bad idea. If the information is easy to explain, it may be a good idea. So this just means that just because something is easy to explain does not mean it's the right answer. It might be a good idea, but it might not be a good idea. The last one is namespaces are one honking great idea. Let's do more of these. We're gonna dive into what namespaces are. But yes, namespaces are a great idea. Let's do more of these. We'll talk about that. That has a little bit to do with scoping and some other things as well. But we will definitely get into that. So if you want to take a look at these, you can go ahead and do an import this. Again, if you have it installed, you can also Google the guiding principles of Python. But it's pretty cool. just some things to think about as you're learning to code. You definitely don't need to you don't need to memorize these. I think someone last time asked me if they need to memorize these. You do not need to memorize these at all. All right, let's get back to the chat really quick. Held message for reason identity. Allow will post. I don't know what that means. Did I miss the installation? No, you did not miss the installation, Ben Jack. We're about to get some stuff. Yeah, everyone already said it. Oh, hey, Kilobyte Gaming, thank you for the cheers. Thank you for the bits. Little topic, but would you be able to post your Pop! OS customizations? Yes. So you should be able to see my ZSH stuff, my shell stuff. You should be able to get. I'm actually going to do a whole stream on my Pop! OS installation, but I'll put in the panel, the computer panel about my PC specs. I will definitely put in kind of the theme that I'm using and maybe my fonts and other things. But absolutely, I will definitely. We're gonna be doing a whole stream about that, but I'll put the information there for anyone who's comfortable enough to go ahead and grab some of those customizations for sure. True. How you pronounce the dude's name? Oh yeah, one of the words with flags. Yeah. Okay. Yep, I see what happened now. Off topic. Do you use arrows or HJKL? This is a great question. We're gonna be doing some Vim tonight for sure. So I gotta admit, I'm an arrows guy, or was an arrows guy. As of recently, I started using HJKL because I'm switching to a 60% keyboard, which will not have arrows. But yeah, just out of habit. I was using arrows for a long time, but I am a HJKL person. So for anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about Vim. We're gonna dive into Vim later, and in Vim you can use. You don't need to use the arrows to go up and down and left and right. You can use those 4 letters to go up and down, left and right. They're a way to navigate your cursor in Vim. We're going to be doing some Vim stuff for sure, because tonight is, I forgot my word. Hold on, I forgot my word. It wasn't indoctrination. It was started with a P. I was going to write it down. If anyone remembers it. Oh, no, proselytize. I'm going to proselytize you all to Vim, so that you guys can give it a try. Cool. All right, let's see what other slides we have. I think we're almost through all of our slides. Very, very simple. You're still waiting for the Google invite. Check your email right now. Your name's in blue. What is that? Dragonfly. Check your email right now. I just sent out another one right before the stream. So it's from Twitch. So check your email. Check your trash folder or your spam folder. Check your promotions folder. I just sent it out. If you don't have it, just post in chat again, and I'll send it. I'll whisper it directly to you for that. But cool. All right, Python. Let's go back down. All right, let's get Python installed. And as you can see, I don't know how old some of you are, but you might not remember having to put disks in the computer to install your software. But yes, that is what you used to have to do, and we're going to do the equivalent of that now. So, actually, this is actually good. Maybe I can. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do my best really quick. I might break the whole stream, but I'm going to try to add a new source. Window capture. Let's go display capture. Video capture device. Display capture. All right, so I'm going to add a source. That looks. Add new source. I'm gonna add a new source. Display capture. Oh wow. How do I get it to just be a portion of the display? Oh, it is a portion of the display. All right, so we'll minimize this because I don't need. Well, I do need this. So let's put this off to the left. And now you can see part of my desktop. I have a 38-inch ultra wide screen. So yeah, it's really weird. It's probably covering my face. Oh man, let's see. Oh man, this is the problem with having an ultra wide. Actually, let me open up. I know what I'll do. This is gonna go. 1 second. This is exciting. I will just do a display capture. Maybe I can do. No, because then you won't be able to see when it gets. try one more time. Let me see what I can do. Yes, source window. Does anyone know how I can just do part of the screen? I don't know. This is very difficult. So I'm gonna get it installed on Linux. Let's go ahead and get it installed on Linux first. Even though it's already installed, but I'll show anyone who's using Linux or Mac how to do it, and then we'll go ahead and try to get it installed on Windows for everyone else. Really, for Windows, you should be able to just go through an MSI like installer, but let's go ahead and show you how you would do it on Linux. So let's get out of here. Let's go to the Python website first. As you almost had it all figured out. Is odd that I missed loading. Yes, it is. It is odd that you miss loading software via CD-ROM. Never worked right at all. When raw, I got the 29 ultra wide from LG. Yeah, I actually might get a smaller one, to be honest with you. Even though I love this for video editing, but I don't know. I may get some different monitors for some other stuff, especially like for things like this. I think it'll be easier. Maybe I'll spend some time later and see if I can get it. Because you almost had it. Yeah, I almost had it. I'll figure it out. Pop OS, I couldn't rock it for that long. Little bugs after 19.04 version irritated me. I've had zero. I haven't had a single issue with mine. That's unfortunate. Were you running it on like a VM? Were you running it on a machine? I have a System 76 computer, so maybe that's why I haven't had any issues, because I have their hardware. But it's worked fine for me. Those transitions are amazing. What just? I don't know what. I think you're being facetious here. KDE Neon. I am not a KDE fan at all. Still not seeing the Google Classroom invite. All right, I'll get that sent over to you when we get to our first break. So in Linux, you probably already have Python installed on Windows, on Linux and Mac. Mac OS, you should automatically have it installed. If you're on Mac, head over to your terminal. If you're on Linux, head over to your terminal and go ahead and type in Python -- version. This will tell you if you have it installed. It'll also tell you what version you have installed. So if you do have it installed, this will probably give you a Python 2 version. That'll tell you if you have Python 2 installed. But if you want to check if you have Python 3 installed, type in Python 3 -- version and go ahead and hit enter and check that out and see if you have it installed already. Now, let's go to the Python website. Python.org. All right, so what you can do, there's a couple ways you can install this. So this is the first one, is you can go to the website and you can ensure it. The website should do its best to interpret which operating system you're using, and it should give you the right download link for yours. So right now, I wonder what we'll download if I click this. Okay, it'll give me a tar here. A compressed file here, and so I could take that. I probably have to install it from source. We're not going to do that right now. But if you have Windows or Mac, or you want some other executable, you can click it and you can find the one that's for your operating system, and you can install it that way. For Debian-based distributions. What you can do is, if you don't know if you have a Debian-based distribution, I can give you 10 ways you could find out, but go ahead and just type in apt and hit enter. If you're not sure if you have a Debian-based distribution would be something like Debian or Ubuntu or Pop OS or Linux Mint, or just a bunch of other ones. If you don't have a Debian-based, if you have like a Red Hat based distribution, so something like Fedora or CentOS, you could use something called Yum. So type in one of these, type in apt or Yum. If you're using Arch or something else, I don't know which package manager you chose, but I'm assuming if you're using Arch or Manjaro or something, you know how to do package management stuff. But you can use a package manager to go ahead and install Python. And we're gonna talk about package managers a little bit, and we're gonna try to use them to get some stuff installed. There is a package manager a popular package manager for Mac OS. It is called Homebrew. It's actually like a Linux brew as well, but Mac Homebrew. You can use this to install it. if you're on a Mac, you can go ahead and go to brew.sh and like copy this in here if you like. There's a million ways to install this thing, but Homebrew is really good if you're on Mac for a lot of packages. In Windows, actually, if you're on Windows, you can actually there's actually I spelled all this wrong. There's also a package manager for Windows. Most people don't know about this package manager for Windows, but it's called Chocolatey, and it is pretty good. It's a pretty good package manager, pretty simple to install, and they do have a lot of stuff in here. So you can easily install things again like Python, but you don't need to do that for if you're on Windows. I just want to tell you about a different piece of software in case you were interested about it. But for Windows, you should go here, you should click Windows, and you should grab this stable release, which is 3.8.1, and go ahead and click on that. What does it have? Probably download one of these executable installers right here. Let's make this a little bit bigger. If you're on Windows, you can just click it, it'll download it, and then you can click and install it like any other program. So it's probably gonna be pretty easy on Windows. For anything with a package manager, so for things like this, for Linux, we could do apt install. So basically a package manager is just an application. So from the command line, you're gonna type in apt, that's calling the program, it's calling the package manager. So if this was a Red Hat based distribution, I would do something like yum install, and you're just gonna do, you probably have to add the 3 at the end, but it would be something like apt install Python3. Actually, I lied to you. You have to type in sudo at first if you're not a Linux user. All this does is kind of give you like admin privileges. You type in your password, and it'll go ahead and it will download it for you. And it's that easy for most Linux distributions. If you can't figure it out on yours, let me know which distribution you're using, and I can probably get you the command to install it. But what you can also do if you're using Linux or using something you don't know how to do it on, what you can also do is simply go to Google. And this is your first, this is showing you how we do things in the tech industry to find out answers. And you say, hey, I'm using Ubuntu. I can say, how do I install Python3 on Pop OS? And here we go. We got a lot of different things here. And we've got, how to install this on Ubuntu, and it'll run through and it'll give you the commands that you need to do, or it'll tell you what to do to get it installed if you can't get it installed. On Mac, I actually think Mac, you can do brew install, Python3 or just Python. So it'll be something like this. You can do it that way. Or I think they also have an executable package that you can install on there. Let's see, Debian. You're in Zorin. I think Zorin is Debian based. I think. It looks like people. Oh yeah, is Pacman? Pacman is for like. Oh, okay. I guess it does. Should I go ahead and install 3.8.1? Yes. Install whatever the latest stable version is. The version won't really matter here. We're doing some pretty simple stuff here. In my opinion, if you're not very experienced with Macs, I would use Homebrew. I agree. If you're not very experienced with Macs, I would use Homebrew. If you have a newer Mac, you might not, like if you just got one, you might not even have Python 2 on there at all. The caveat, if you're on an older Mac, this might be a little bit of a hassle for you. So a lot of Macs, a lot of their internal functionality uses Python 2 packages, or did. Maybe they updated it. And it's been, yeah, it can cause some problems kind of getting Python 3 installed. You should be good for this. Like what we're doing is very chill. It should be fine, but you should be able to get it installed with Home. The .exe file or the AMD64. So the .exe file is probably going to be the one that you want. There, it should again, that download button on the home page should give you the one that you need. To be honest, though, pip install. I guess you could pip that. I don't know. Can you use pip without Python already? I'm not sure. Pip is end of life 2, isn't it? I don't know. I don't know at all. But Zorin is Debian based. You should be able to use apt to get your stuff installed. You may be able to use like whatever store is on here as well. Actually, let's see if this is in the Pop OS store, the Pop shop. Let me see if Python is in there. I have no idea. I never use this to install anything. I guess it's not. Also, if you're using Linux and you want an easy way to install things, oops. You may be able to install it via like Snapcraft, like Snap. How do I search? Store? I don't know if Python is in here, but I think you might be able to. Okay, I guess you can't install Python itself through here, but there are a million ways to do it. We can definitely figure it out. So let's see. Everyone who's trying to get it installed, let us know if you're having any issues. Pip is Python. I thought pip is a like a Python like management tool. I forgot what pip stands for. Yeah, okay, Python package installer. Yeah, it's to help manage things in Python. You can use it to upgrade itself. You can use it. I think you can use pip to upgrade Python. I don't think you can use it to install Python though, at all. But yeah, pip's cool. We're not gonna install pip right now. Yeah, we're not gonna install pip right now. You can install. Feel free to install if you like. We will get to it one day, but we're not gonna worry about that right now. But you can install pip3. There is a pip3 package. There's a pip3 package. You can run Python via Docker as well. Yes, you can run anything via Docker if you'd like, but that's another level of learning. Cool. I have Python installed in a dozen different ways on my computer. Yeah, so that is problematic. But for right now, if you can just type in Python or Python3 -- version, specifically Python3 - version, and get something back, you should be good to go. I got stuck on Python 3.5 on stretch. Yeah, I've definitely been stuck on versions of Python before. Pip3 is now broken in that container. Do you talk about Python libraries? Yes, I do talk about Python libraries. I was trying to use one today and write an Excel file, but I'm truly a beginner and couldn't get it to work like I wanted. Yeah, absolutely. We will absolutely talk about libraries and how to use libraries and how to import them and how you invoke them for sure. Actually, Creative Pigeon, what can you just post that library that you were trying to use? Do you know the name of the library? Maybe we'll try to use it tonight. So CSV reader. Let's see that. I retrieved an old key with a virus. Gave me when it worked on hardware. I think I got infected. What should I do? I don't know. If I were you, I purposefully set up my stuff in a way that I can blow it all away if I need to. So if I were to get a virus, I mean, I use Linux so that I don't get viruses. To be honest, I have no problem reinstalling everything. But maybe you can use something like Malwarebytes, or maybe you can use something like Avast. I don't know. I'm a long time out of the desktop support game, so I don't know how to get that virus off of your computer. XO Wings. All right, maybe we'll try to, if we have some time, maybe we'll try to use that package tonight for sure. Okay, so let's, again, just giving people time. I'll give you some more time. I'm gonna move over to my lemon LaCroix. Give me like can you do like a thumbs up in the chat? I don't know. Give me like a thumbs up if you have it installed. But for anyone who's still trying to get it installed and going through some issues, let me know if you're having some trouble. That link's home right here. Okay. Let me see here. So, once you do get it installed, again, if you want to get dropped into the interpreter, you can go ahead and just type it out and you'll get put into the interpreter. And you can just, I don't know, you may not know any Python yet, but you can just copy what I put here, or I'll paste it in the chat. People already pasted it, but you can just do a print. Hello world. And basically you've gone ahead and you've typed your first Python program. If you want to feel cool, and you can take it and you can print some, whoops. You can take it and you can print some other stuff if you like, but you can mess around. We're gonna get, after you get Python installed, we're gonna get one of the editors installed so that we can like start messing around and we can start doing stuff in the editors instead of doing things in the interpreter. The interpreter is great, but we want to be able to do it in as many ways as possible tonight. So cool. All right. Did I miss the Windows installation instructions? Yeah. Oh, actually, let's try to do this again. Because my screen is so large. All right, maybe I'll do. Man, this should be easier. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna cover up my whole face. Maybe I can make stuff. 102? No, that's not a display capture. All right, add source. We've got a little bit of inception going on right now. Let's move this over to the side. All this is not, wow. It's really showing my whole monitor. Hold on. We can do this. We can make this happen. Let's just move this underneath this. No, that didn't work. I capture over. But under, okay, hold on, we're almost there. Almost. Oh, that looks gross. But oh well, don't sweat that right now. I'll just show you how to do it in Windows really quick. Just look over here while it's all gross. So I'm gonna open up this. We'll go to Python. You're gonna Google Python for when if you're on Windows, guys. You're gonna click downloads. It should give you. I'm assuming this button will read everything that I put in here. And I'm assuming if I click download, it'll go ahead and I'll download some of my documents and it'll download my application. It did. It picked it up. It gives me a .exe. So just go ahead and click right here. Go ahead and click the installer. Go ahead and click install now. You can customize it, but I say go ahead and just click go through the defaults here. Also, if you're using WSL, so this is my WSL on Linux, on Windows. You can't really see it because it's small. Let's see if I can make this bigger. Oh, I forgot I can't get to hyperfilm. I don't think I have them installed. You have code installed. Code hyper. All right, we'll figure that part out later. But so all you had to do for Python on Windows was to just click like install, and now it's already done. That's already done. I'm gonna click close. Now I'm gonna go into my command prompt, and I know this is small, but if I type in Python -- version, it says Python is not recognized as an internal external command. So it's probably a path problem. I wonder if I type in Python3. It is not. So let's see how we fix that. I actually have no idea because I've never installed this on Windows before. Let's Google Windows Python Python path. All right. Oh, this is whack. As you can see, okay, so it looks like it installed it. I wonder if I can install it. I can set up the path. I want to see if it gives you any other options when you are installing it. What if I click repair? Let me see, go to environment variables. Okay, I'll go to environment variables in a second. Do you really have to do this every time? I have to pass there. Okay, I will do that. That's whack. Sometimes the paths don't get added. That's interesting. So this is another reason why people like Macs and Linux for development. This is why I would just use Windows Subsystem for Linux. I actually don't. Where are your Windows? let's find out where. Can I just type in okay, hold on 1 second. Can I just type in environment variables here? I have no idea. Oh, look at that. All right. Environment variables. This is nice. I like this. I like this a lot. So that looks like I need to find what the path is first. So error I got. So it looks like in Windows, you can just type in your little search bar and you can type in environment variables, or I guess you can go to control panel and maybe go to system properties and then environment variables. So it looks like we're gonna have to add an environment variable for our Python. This is interesting. Added there when installing, it should be added automatically. Yeah, it should be, but it's not for mine. I've always had to add the path on Windows in the path. Okay, this is cool. It's notorious for being loose immature coders. That makes sense, because this is a little bit weird, but it's fine. It has an option to add it to the path during install. I'll check that. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Actually, before we do this, apparently people are telling me there's a way you can add it during install. We're gonna uninstall it real quick, and I just want to see if the box is there before I add this environment variable. But this is pretty interesting. It seems like a lot of people have gone ahead and installed this on Windows before. All right, so let's uninstall, and I'll add those. I will add those environment variables. Actually, we can see where it is. Let me open up a CMD. All right, so I uninstalled it. Oh, look at this. Okay, that'll make it pretty obvious to you. So if you installed it and you're having the same problems I'm having, go ahead and click back on the same installer. So it might be in your downloads. Go ahead and click back on it. Then I want you to go into, I want you to uninstall it. Then I want you to come back and I want you to click this little button right here at the bottom. This is add Python 3.8 to path. It's very interesting. We can also go in and install a variable as well. Actually just wanted to see if this installs an environment variable for us. That's cool. So go ahead and install it again. I'm glad that man, it's interesting because I now don't know if I feel like Windows like exe files are easier to install than like package managed files or not, because you usually just have to click through, and it did allow us to add it to the path. It's very interesting. I don't know how I feel. All right, so let's see if that actually worked. Python. Yeah, that did work. So if you just go back and you uninstall Python and you click that little check mark, that should do everything for you. And now you should be where everyone else is. That was a little bit of a hassle, but that's my lack of Windows knowledge, to be honest. I use my Windows to play games and to edit videos. Nothing more than that. I play a lot of games. You can see, I have my Overwatch here. I'm a great Overwatch player. So I have that over here, but cool. Let's see. That's how you do it on Windows, and we can go ahead and remove. Well, let's just hide this. We don't need to remove it. We'll just go ahead and hide it. So what is an environment variable? That's a great question. So we're actually going to learn about what variables are, but an environment variable, and let's see if that actually added it to the environment variables. A variable, for anyone who doesn't know, is something that can change. A variable means something that doesn't stay static, it can change. And so what an environment variable is it's a placeholder on your computer that holds a value that can change. So it will be something like if I wanted the computer to know what my name is, and that every time I typed in name, maybe in capital letters, I could set the value of name equal to my name, which is Aaron. And so every time I would type in name, it would reference my name. So it's setting a changeable, a modifiable value to really basically a container or something that represents it. So let's take a look at here. And I wonder, okay, it doesn't look like you added one for Python. It looks like it just added it to our path. Yeah, probably just added it to the path in here. But yeah, cool. But we'll go deeper over what to variable is. Yes, so what you have there, export variable name, that is close. It will be something closer to export variable, I'm typing it in the chat, I know you can't see it, equals value. So it'll be something like export name. Actually, I can do it. I can do it right here. So it can be something like, even in Python, I could say a variable is like this. I want to set the value of name equal to my name, which is Aaron. And then I can print name. And if I print name, it will print out Aaron. So I'm setting the value. This is called a variable. This is the variable right here. This is the thing that can change, because now I can set name to James. And if I print it out again, it is now James. So it's a container. It's a container for a value that can change, and that's what a variable is. We'll get super close. I mean, we'll get super deep on variables next time. But those are great questions. Definitely great questions. When are we playing Overwatch? We're playing Overwatch. I actually think I am going to stream Overwatch on Friday, just for fun. I think I'll do a office hours on Friday. I play Overwatch anyway. We might do it on Friday. But I play a lot of Overwatch. If anyone wants to play Overwatch and plays on PC, shoot me a message. I would love to play. It's my thing. I'm trying to get good this year. You know, I'm not good, but I put in a lot of hours. You know, I'm mid gold. I'm trying to get up to plat this year. That's my goal, to get up to plat, be really good, and be the best that there is there. But okay. What is an environment? Great question. The environment is your current session of your machine. So your machine is the environment. Everything that's running, that is your environment. And so an environment variable injects this into the underlying running instance of your machine, so that if it's ever called anywhere in your whole machine, that your whole machine has access to that variable. So right here, when I'm typing these in here, these are not environment variables. These are variables, but they're only accessible inside of Python right now, inside of this running instance of Python. But an environment variable would be available to my whole machine at any given time. And so that's what your environment is. Input, what is your name? Name input. Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna talk about input. Definitely gonna. Where do I have to hit you up to carry you? Yeah. What is my? I actually don't even know what my. I have two different BattleNet things. One of mine is like kind regards. I'll paste it. I'll paste it in the chat in a second when it loads up. I don't even know. Yeah. So here we go. Here's one of them. I'll send the other one. It's kind regards number 1897. So this is my BattleNet stuff. Yeah, I'll definitely say, oh, yep. You know what? Thank you. 1897. I will set up a BattleNet command right now. Exclamation point commands, add, exclamation point BattleNet. I'm gonna say BattleNet. I'll put them both in here, but I'll put this one in for now. So now if you do BattleNet, if you do exclamation point BattleNet, you will get my Blizzard tag. Definitely go ahead on there and add me. BattleNet. There we go. Cool. Yeah, maybe I'll make a BNet or something. I'll change it. I just want to get that in there right now. It says run brew help get started, but when I type in brew, I get an error. What is the error you get? Are you in the Slack? Maybe you can post a screenshot in the Slack, and maybe we can help you out. How do we add Python to the environment variable? So what you would do is you could do. It looks like one of two things. So you could. Oh wow, why have you do? Okay, so basically what you would have to do is add to your path here. Oh man, you guys can't see this. I removed it. Except, let me re-add it really quick. Play capture. And now I've got to make this smaller yet again. To get it over here. Make it bigger. I'll cover up the chat for just a bit. I know you can't see it because it's small, but what you would do is go ahead and in the search bar in your Windows machine, type in environment variables. When this box pops up, go ahead and hit the environment variables box right here. Go ahead and click on that. This will bring up your environment variables, and what you want to do. Wow, everything. I shook the box and everything went down. And so what you want to do is find path. The path is the path is something that is available on your Linux machine, on your Mac, on your Windows. And what this is this is a set of locations in which you can call files and executables in this path. Anything that exists in here, you can call it by name without having to explicitly call it. It can be a little bit of a complicated subject. It's something that kind of doesn't make sense until you've messed with it a few times. But it looks like the goal of this is to go ahead and add the location of Python, of whatever the path is to your Python installation, is to go ahead and add it to this path variable. So what we basically do is we would edit it. We go ahead and edit it, and then we could click new here. Whoa, we cancel that so it doesn't save. But you can go ahead and you can do that, and you can add in the location of your Python installation. And so what does it show here? I have no idea where it installs it at. Let's see where it installed it at. CMD. This one says it installed it in my C ... Where does it say? Inside of C Python34. I don't think that's where mine is. Is it in program files? I probably should have paid attention to where it installed it. I don't know. Actually, I just don't know anything about Windows. So maybe someone can help you. Oh, echo stuff, path, something like that. Oh yeah, can you see? Well, yes, that'll show me what my path is. But see, this seems like a Windows. This seems like a Linux path that you guys are sharing. This like user local share. That's definitely not for Windows. Oh, okay. It looks like somebody posted it above. Not sure. Just open your path in the environment variable screen. It was added. Yeah, so it's added in mine. It's definitely added in mine. I was trying to show somebody what they should add. Oh, never mind. I see what you mean. I'm dumb. It was added right here. So this is my path. Maybe I can copy, edit, copy. This is what it is on my computer. I don't know what it'll be on your computer. It'll probably be the same thing, like users, your name, app data, local, programs, Python. Well, not the scripts directory, but this other one without scripts. Maybe. On Linux, it'll be something a little bit different. Probably the user local share one that someone shared. But yeah, we'll get into. Maybe next time we go through this, I'll do a little bit of a Linux introduction before we get into this part. Or like a command line introduction so people can understand what paths are and things like that. It's very interesting. Good learning experience though. All right, again, let's get this out so we can see. Again, I'm just gonna hide it. Oh, I didn't even need to add it. It was already here the whole time. So next time, remind me when you guys need to see my windows that I can just unhide this and I don't need to add a new display capture thing. But cool. All right, so let's pull everything else back up. I don't have all my stuff open because Windows made everything go down. All right, there we go. We're all good now. So let's get into the fun stuff now. So hopefully, again, it's hopefully you're not having problems. If you're having problems, that is this is par for the course. You will learn a lot in trying to solve this. So what you should do if you're having problems is we're gonna keep moving right now, but again, you should post a screenshot in Slack of your error. Let people know, paste in exactly the errors you're seeing, and we can go ahead and we can work together to get you all worked out. But yeah, man, this was a wake up call to realize how much I don't know how to use Windows for anything. So I think partially this is because WSL is out. So when I am in Windows and I'm doing anything like this, I just go into Windows Subsystem for Linux and do an apt install Python and everything works because Linux is better when you are doing work. When you're programming, when you're programming or doing systems things, it really is. Linux is just easier to work with, for sure. All right, let's get to the fun stuff. Get to the fun stuff here. So we got it installed. Hopefully we got it installed. But now let's go ahead and get an editor installed. This will be a lot easier. I promise you, getting an editor installed will be a ton easier. And so again, you saw this last time. I wanted to put Adam on here. Someone got a little upset that I didn't have Adam on here. Yesterday, on the DevOps stream, I installed Adam. And my problem with it before is that I thought Adam was very slow, and it was always slow for me in my experience, and I couldn't recommend it because, man, it was frustratingly slow. I installed it, and it's running very fast. So we are going to talk about Adam, and I guess I do recommend it now. Let's see. Oh yeah. Actually, some people can follow along with repo.it. I forgot about repo.it. So if you're having trouble getting installed and you want to mess around with the interpreter, you can go to repo.it, and that'll give you an interpreter and something you can mess around with. I'll also give you guys access during this time I'll show you some other online editors in environments, not even just editors, but environments that you can use to practice this stuff in case you're having lots of trouble getting it set up locally, so that you don't really have to worry about, the setup and things like that. It's not super important that you have it set up on your computer, because again, this course is about learning how to program, learning programming concepts. It's an introduction to coding with Python, not necessarily a Python course. To be honest, you will learn Python because that is the language that we're using, but we're really focusing on the concepts here. So it's kind of a little double thing here. I think I'll give WSL a shot. Absolutely, you should definitely do that. So many user scripts for Linux machines. Yep. What room in Slack to post shots? Great question. Maybe someone can make a help channel really quick, or anyone can create a help channel, or anywhere right now should work. Hey Aaron, you mind defining your acronyms as you use them if possible? Absolutely. What acronym are you talking about? I'm assuming you're talking about WSL, because I think that's the only one I've been using, which is the Windows subsystem for Linux. So last year, Windows said, hey, we know that developers, we're losing a lot of developers to Apple and to Linux for a number of reasons. It's because the most softwares and most coding languages and things are built and designed to run on Linux, to run on the Linux kernel. And the Windows kernel is very different from the Linux kernel, but Mac is built on Unix. And it's a Unix-like operating system, and Unix and Linux have tons of similarities. They're pretty close to each other, or they have a lot of similarities. So it's very easy to install these things. It's very easy to interact with these things on Mac, and it's very easy to interact with them on Linux because they are built to run on Linux, but they're not built to run on Windows. So there's a lot of changes in things that exist between the Windows versions of things and the Linux and the Mac versions. So what Windows did, it says, hey, we know there's a problem here. We know it's difficult to develop on Windows. We know that developers on Windows run into lots of problems. So we're going to go ahead and ship Windows with this little Linux kernel, and we're going to set up some system calls that allow your Linux machine, this little Linux VM, to interact with your Windows machine. And so now basically what you have on Windows is a little tiny Linux kernel. Well, actually, I think it ships with a full Linux kernel now, but a Linux kernel in there that allows you to basically run Linux and run Linux applications in tandem with what you're doing on Windows. So yeah, hopefully that's an explanation of Windows subsystem for Linux. Basically, it just allows you to run, use Linux tools, Linux-based tools on your Windows machine, and it is really cool if you are a Windows user. It's very helpful, very, 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 very helpful. Are you happy with the System 76 you have? I am. I'm very happy with the System 76 computer that I have. I have the Galago Pro, which is an Ultrabook. I've used it for over a year. It's very reliable. It's very fast. But again, I got the NVMe SSD and stuff, and so it's super fast. I mainly use it for development and learning. I take it with me a lot. I use it for productivity and stuff as well. It's my only. Well, I have a work laptop, but this is my personal laptop. So it's what I use. I travel with. It's been great. I've never had to mess with, again, any drivers or anything like that. It's great. The only thing I would complain, like not even complain about, I wanted to actually trade it in, not trade it in, but sell it and get the Darter Pro. They have a 15-inch Ultrabook that they have. I was pretty interested in that because it has a bigger battery, and you can get this has decent battery. I can get like 5 hours out of it, 4 or 5 hours, but the Darter has an inch bigger screen, plus you can get like 8 to 9 hours out of it. So I thought about switching to that, but no need. Works fine. I pretty much never need to have 5 hours of battery life without being able to plug up, like pretty much never. It's not really a big deal, but I don't know. It's definitely it's a great laptop. I love the keyboard. I hate the mouse pad. The trackpad is pretty bad to me, but I got a bunch of mice. I got like the Logitech MX Master 2S and stuff. So like that's not really a problem, but yeah. Let's see. Visual Studio Code installed on Windows 10 also. Yep. That'll be really easy. Visual Studio Code is very easy to install on all operating systems. I took a Python course where a dude extolled the virtues of Atom. Git integration was cool and all, but I legit hated Atom. Yeah, I say everyone should give it a chance now. I think you should give all these a chance and see which one works for you. Let's see. Cool, there's a question channel. I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys taking the initiative to create that help channel. Cool. Thanks for that. Windows big suck basically. I like Windows. I just don't like Windows for everything. I just don't like Windows for development. I like it for everything else. Cool. Yes, WSL 2 is amazing. So the Windows subsystem for Linux, the second iteration of it is really good, but it only ships inside Windows Insider build. So it's still in development, but they've made big leaps forward in the functionality, and it's really, really good. I've given it a go. When it releases, I don't think I'm ever gonna switch to Windows full time, but it'll make it very viable for me to do work like on this computer here, and I will recommend it for everyone. All right, does WSL2 have the real Linux kernel? I think it does. I think it has like I'm pretty sure it has the entire Linux kernel in it. I'm pretty sure, but maybe not. Are we developing on the WSL or plain Windows? I'm not developing on Windows at all. You can develop on either one, whichever one works for you. For Python, I don't think it really matters. Like because we're just doing Python, you should be fine either way. We're mainly going to be working in some type of editor, but you'll be using either WSL or the command prompt or PowerShell to kick it off. You shouldn't see it different in any of them. If you have WSL installed already, I would go with that. If not, I will stick with just plain old Windows for that. All right, cool. So let's check some of these things out. So if you want to install VS Code, I know for a fact VS Code for unless you have a weird version of Linux, you should just be able to go straight to their website and go ahead and get the package for you. So if you're on Windows, it should give you an installer. If you're on Mac, it should give you an installer. If you're on Linux, it should give you an installer. So if you're on Ubuntu or something Debian based, go ahead and grab this .deb. And if you're on a Red Hat based system, you can use this .rpm. And then again, if you're on anything else, I probably trust that you know how to find out how to install it, but there should be a way in your package manager or something to install it. Basically just save the file, click on it, and go ahead and get it installed. I already have it installed, so it's a no big deal here. I do recommend everybody, if you've never had an editor installed, this is the one to install. Like Visual Studio Code is the one to install. I know people are gonna be like, oh, but what about this? What about that? If you are new to this, if this is your first time programming, you don't have any editor installed, I want you to install VS Code, and you can get the link by doing bang VS Code. I spelled that way wrong. There we go, bang VS Code. That'll give you the link. Again, it should give you the download for whatever your machine is, whatever your architecture is, it should give you the code for that. But again, I can't speak highly enough of Visual Studio Code. And before we get into any other editors, I'm gonna go into I'm gonna go into VS Code and kind of show you around first. We'll get VS Code set up. I think I already have some customizations to mine. Maybe, you know what I'll do? I'll uninstall mine. I will uninstall my VS Code. I don't use it as my main editor, so no big deal. Let me find that. I'm gonna go ahead and uninstall it real quick so you can see maybe a fresh version. Hopefully it doesn't keep all of my settings. It shouldn't. All my settings. Where is it at? Where are you? Don't make me do this again. Man, I can't see. I mean, I could just look in here. I couldn't find it. My eyes couldn't find it. You know what I'm gonna do though? I have fast internet. I'm gonna download it again because I can. I got bandwidth to download it again. Oh, it's on my desktop. Thanks. I think somebody said that. I could have sworn it went to my downloads. Uh-oh. I think I broke the I did. I broke my, so I'm using this. You guys saw me go back and forth with my mouse between my Linux machine and my Windows machine. I'm using this server called Synergy. I'm using this application called Synergy. It basically runs a server on my Windows machine and a client server on my Linux machine, and it looks like it died. So now I got to use the touchpad, and you guys caught that. A desktop, VS Code. I'm gonna uninstall it really quick. I could have uninstalled it with like DPKG or something, but I didn't want to do too much super confusing things. But I'm gonna go ahead and uninstall it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and install it. And this should give me a fresh version. I think this will go ahead and give me a fresh version of it. Yeah, if you want to learn how to, for anyone, Uno Plank, if anyone wants to learn how to do a lot of the stuff in AWS, make sure you're checking out the DevOps streams, which are on Sundays and Tuesdays, and we will be going over all of that. All right, I use Barrier KVM. It's a fork of Synergy. I'll check that out. Okay, it looks like my Synergy's back. All right, it's back. So I've got VS Code installed. So what you can do is on your computer, just go ahead and open it like any other application. I'll show you how to do it from the command line later, but go ahead and once you get it installed, just go ahead and find it in your applications and go ahead and click on it and open it up like any other applications. It looks like that did not reset my VS Code. Man, I thought it was gonna reset my VS Code to like back to stock. But if you, how do I, okay, cool. So if you open it up, you open up VS Code, it opens up, it just opens up. You won't have anything over here if you just clicked on the file. You might get like a welcome window as well. I don't get a welcome window because I told it to stop giving me that welcome window, but you'll go ahead and you'll get this welcome window here that'll give you some information. You can close it. There should be some X's up there. You'll have a pane over here on the left, and you'll have these options over here. Yours also won't look like mine. So maybe I'll give you what's the default theme? If anyone knows the default theme, let me know, because I install. You can see here, I've installed way too many themes. Let's see. I thought it would be pretty obvious to me which one is the default theme, but I installed too many. All right, I was just trying to get mine to look like yours. Can be dark. No. Well, we're gonna go back to Monokai Pro because it's the one that I like. But yeah, yours will have a different color scheme. Don't sweat it. I'll show you how to install some new color schemes. But all you have here is a text editor. So What is this? Hold on, chat box needs to go above, issue capture, above, capture, HG6, above. There we go. All right. So all this is here is to edit text. A text editor is here to edit text. So the program itself, all it really does at first is it's here to open up some files. So I actually don't even know how to open editors. How do I get rid of? I never do anything through the I never do anything through the like GUI. So I actually don't even know how to like get rid of this. All right, no big deal. But you won't have anything over here. What you can do is it should give you some options over here. If you like highlight over here, there should be like a plus to create a new file or a new folder. But think about this like Microsoft Word. Think about it like Microsoft Word or Google Docs. It's just it's a simple application. It's not this crazy thing that you have to set up. It's not this crazy thing that you have to set up. All right, file, close folder. I like that. All right, cool. Yes, so this is what it should look like right here. Thank you. I use Vim now, so like I don't do this, but I do like VS Code. It should look like this. And so open folder. So this will just allow you the same way in Microsoft Word, you could open up a file. You could actually open up folders here instead. So I click open folder and I can go to where my code is, or where I'm gonna put my code. So don't sweat it if you don't have a folder with code in it. You can make a folder. Or you can open up any folder you want. So you can just open up like your documents if you like, or wherever, or I recommend going somewhere on your computer, making a new folder, and we can say something like coding test. And I'll create a folder and I'll go ahead and open this. So now it opens up a folder here and we're in the coding test folder. But so let's talk about the anatomy of this really quick. This top thing is just your Explorer, so your file Explorer. You need to be able to see all your files and your folders and the way that those are set up. So that's what this is. If you need to get to it, click there. This is search. So let's say you wanted to search all of your files through all of your folders for a word, for a certain string. We talk about strings. You want to match a certain string. You can do that with the search tab, and you can do like find and replace. And so it's pretty powerful. We'll get into that as well. Here's your source control integration. So like Git integration, we're going to talk about Git for sure. But this is one of the reasons why VS Code is cool. People really love the Git integration. This is for debugging. This helps you find problems with your code. You know, as you're developing these big applications, this will help you make it easier for you to discover and to figure out what's wrong with code. And the last panel is extensions. So this is like a super powerful one here to install packages to help you get more functionality in your editor. All you got to do is click that and go ahead and type in what you need. So we'll use that in a second as well too. Let's go ahead and open up our first Python file. So if you have a folder open, if you had clicked that, if yours looks like, I didn't mean to close editor. I meant to close folder. Yeah, so if yours looks like this, go ahead and click open folder. Go ahead and make that folder, like I said, or open up any place on your computer and go ahead and open up something. So we're gonna create a new file. We're gonna create our first Python file really quick. And again, this is just to show you how to use VS Code because these concepts apply to just about every editor we're gonna touch. We're gonna dive into those other editors in a second, but open up a file. So it's very simple. So right here, you should have some options. Click new file. All Python files need to end in .py. So let's just call this like test.py. And I'll do a little Control plus to make this all a little bit bigger so you can see it. As soon as you do that, I typed that wrong. I'll rename it. I'll right click, click rename. So you don't need to be scared. This is just creating a file. So if you were to look on your computer, I don't know where I actually created this, but if I were to look on my computer, and did I put this in documents? Coding tests. It created a file here. So you can see here, just looking at my file structure, it's making a file. You're not doing anything super special. It's making it on your computer. You're just making a file. So I have this file over here. So now whenever I create it, it opens up this area over here for me to type in. So this is where you're gonna be typing your code. This is where you're gonna be typing your source code. So this is gonna be where you're doing all your work. You can also see here, yours won't look like this. I installed an icons package, and I'm about to show you how to install an icons package. But the icons theme that I'm using now, my editor knows that this is a Python file, and it gives me this little icon to let me know that it knows that it can it's going to interpret this as a Python file. Gives you some more information and lets me know that the file is not saved. So even though I've created it, it's not saved here. I made some edits to it, it's not saved. That's why this one is here. So however many numbers are up here, that's how many files you've edited that have not been saved yet. So let's go ahead and again, let's write our first Python program. Now, you won't get this by default because you have not installed the Python extension. And let me go ahead and disable it really quick. I uninstall. Just like that, I uninstalled it. Let's Python extended, uninstall. I could have just disabled it. So when you type it in, you might get some basic stuff here. And so basically, your text editor, what's great about text editors and IDEs is that they're designed to help you write code faster. So they have some things inside of them. They have some things built into them that help you, that can give you information about what you're trying to do, or can auto-complete things for you. And so you start typing and you might get some options here. And so we're gonna do print, and we're gonna do hello world. And now we've written our first Python program. It's not saved. We're gonna go ahead and hit Control S to save it, or you can do File, Save. You can see here that I have some stuff down here that says linter pylint is not installed. We're gonna talk about linters. Don't sweat that at all. It's just giving you some recommendations on things to install that will help you. One of the great things about Visual Studio Code is it has an integrated terminal as well. So really, we never actually need to leave our editor to be able to write our code and test it. The way that you get to your terminal, to either to your command prompt or your WSL or your Linux terminal or Mac terminal, you hold Control and you hit tilde. So tilde is the button that's right under the escape key. It's the little squiggly line with a little back tick on it. But if you hit Control tilde, it's gonna bring up a terminal for you. And so now I can do normal Linux stuff. This terminal is exactly the same as this one, same thing. So I have this file here, I saved it. I can see this file is right here, and I can go ahead and run it. So I can do Python3 test.py, and it's gonna go ahead and run my file. So you can see here how I can go ahead here and I can change this. I can say, hello, Aaron. And remember how we talked about interpreted languages. This is an interpreted language. Remember how we talk about interpreted languages are easy to make changes to and see those changes. Just like that, I made a change to an interpreted language and I immediately was able to see the output. So this is just to, again, don't worry about the Python that we're writing. Don't worry about how to run Python code right now. Right now, the concept that we're trying to learn is we're trying to learn about editors. We're trying to learn about to familiarize ourselves with a text editor and what it can do. And again, you don't need to memorize every single thing it can do. I'm just trying to show you some of the things that a text editor can do and why people like this one in particular. And then it'll also, if we had any problems, it would tell us, there's a problem here. Like if I go ahead and create a problem and I hit save, I think if I install like the Python plugin, which we're gonna do in a second, it'll tell me I have an error here. I don't know if I might need to run it first, but it's cool. So you can see here how I can create new files over here, or I can collapse that. I can edit files here. I can run the code here if I'd like. So yeah, it gives me some cool things to do. Now, I've got this installed. One of the bigger reasons why people love VS Code is it has a very vast plugins library, or extensions library. They call them extensions. And so if you wanted to, you could go to the VS Code website and see all of the amazing extensions they have. They have so many. And you can see they have lots of downloads, but you don't have to do anything special to get them. You don't have to download a package over here and click install and make sure, things are set up. All you have to do is click this bottom thing here, or you can hit Control Shift X but you can see in the image that's a shortcut. Just click on it. And go ahead, for everyone who has VS Code installed, go ahead and just type in Python. And so when you type in Python, a bunch of options are going to come up. They put a little star next to the one that is like the most popular one. It's actually one that they wrote, but click on it. Bring it up, click on it, and now you can get some really cool information about what this package does, what it is, what it'll do for you. And we can see here that we have, with this extension, it's written by Microsoft. It has over 15 million downloads, which is amazing, and it has a 5-star rating. And so it gives you things like linting, debugging, IntelliSense, Jupyter Notebooks, code formatting. All that's great. You don't need to know what you're reading here, but it just tells you, as you get more familiar with things and you're trying to figure out what an extension does for you, what benefits you'll get out of it, you can go ahead and you can read all about it in here so that you can see. We're gonna go ahead and install it. So just go ahead and click install right here or right here. And just like that, we've extended our editor. We've added an extension to our editor, which will give us some support for Python. It'll give us some tools to make it a lot easier to write Python code. And so now if we go back over here, I wonder what happens if I go back and I save this. So it doesn't tell me that, but what it will do now is, it already has some pretty good syntax highlighting and stuff, but for some languages, you won't actually see any colors until you install that package. And these colors are important. Your colors might be different, but the colors are important because visually, it helps you, it separates different pieces of code, different code functionality. It separates them so that you can easily see and easily recognize what's going on. So remember we talked about variables. We talked about we didn't talk about variables. We talked about data types. So let's think about data types really quick. And let's say we set up a variable of data types. See how here it's yellow. What happens if I do print? So print will be green again. What if I do the number 5? So remember, this is what data type is this? It's a string. Remember, we talked about that. Remember, we think double quotes, string. You can see here, remember how we had to type in that type command to see what type something is? Look at this. Because we installed that that package, I can just put my cursor over top of this and it tells me what type it is already. You can see how valuable that would be so that you don't have to do a lot of extra stuff to know what's going on. And just like this, I can put my mouse over here and now it tells me it's an integer. So again, already you're seeing that, like, before, for us to know what type something was, we would have to do something like this. We'd do like type, and we would have to put it in here, then we would have to run the code to figure out what type something was. Now we don't have to do that. Now we can just go like that and put our something over it and it says it's an int, or maybe I can do true. And that corrected it for me. So I typed in lowercase true, and it's giving me some hints here, saying, hey, do you mean true? Like, do you mean the type true, a Boolean type of true? And so I click it. You can see how it changes colors. Put my mouse over it. Maybe it's because I didn't actually do anything with it. Maybe it. But you can also see this might be a little overwhelming for you in the beginning. But you can. It's letting me know that, like, print is something called a function, and it's letting me know, it's pulling up documentation and it's letting me know what this thing does. So it's giving me information real time about what print does, what I have to pass to it, things like that. So again, you can see how this helps you write code faster because it gives you information that you need to work faster. We could change this to 5.6. And now our type is a float. So we went from a whole number. Remember, integers are whole numbers, whole complete numbers, both positive and negative. Floats are decimal numbers, both positive and negative. Everyone, this is the Python extension. So just click the little extension thing down here, go down and type in Python. And so type in Python, and all you got to do, there'll be an install button. Just click it, it'll install it, and you'll be good to go. You don't have to do anything extra. You get all of it out of the box. And again, this is why it's so great. And so again, it just gives you just different things. So if I wanted to import this, the thing that we imported before, like, you can see how different colors represent different things. And again, there's a visual thing that happens. Like I actually have a really tough time now. Like even if I just change my color scheme, even like because you get used to one, your eyes and your brain have to do some adjustments, and you can't code as fast. It's pretty crazy actually. But there are a lot of tools in a text editor that will help you code faster. And so this is why people like them. And so this is why people feel so passionately about their editors, because they all are trying to help you and they all do them in different ways. And some people like some things about it and hate other things. Let's check out this search functionality. Let's say this was a huge file. Actually, let's go ahead and open up a bigger, a much larger repository of code. So this is a bunch of JavaScript code. This search function is great. So there's a lot of files and folders in here. Let's say I wanted to know, maybe I want to know how many functions were in here, or I want to find a certain function. I could type in the word that I'm looking for. And you can see here, I can see there's 853 times the word functions you use. It's 853 references the function, and I could find the file that it was in. And again, obviously you wouldn't be usually searching for something this generic, but if you needed to find something that existed in a lot of stuff, and then you could click into it and it would highlight it for you, and you could do a find and replace. I could replace all the words that are function in the whole entire repository, all 853 results of this. I could replace it with another word. I could replace it with tulip. And I go ahead and do this. I'm going to replace it. And look at that. Function is now tulip. And now the word function no longer exists in my repository, which is crazy. You wouldn't really want to do that. But I just want to show you something that you could do. I don't use this computer. I can't even actually push this repo from this computer anyway. But again, it allows you to do all these really cool things from an editor. Now, let's show you some other ones. So some of the other ones that are on here, Sublime is a good one. Sublime is, I would have told you to give Sublime a try. I think you should still give Sublime a try. Sublime is a freemium model. Get commit master. It won't even allow me to do that. We put some checks and balances in there for that. But the Sublime editor, really cool. It's been around for a while. Sublime 2 is when people kind of got into it. Sublime 3 has been great. Really fast, really good editor, freemium model. So it's free to evaluate for really as long as you want to. But it will give you a little pop-up that tries to encourage you to buy it like every 34th time you save it. Pretty good editor. But this is not my second choice. My second choice, actually, and I messed around with it last night to be sure. My second choice actually is Atom. So if you Google Atom editor or go to atom.io, I'll paste this in here. Give Atom a try. Now, Atom is a beautiful editor. And I'll open up Atom. I installed Atom already. You should just be able to download the package and install it just like anything else. But Atom is beautiful. You can see here, it's very similar. You can see it's very similar to VS Code. It's got some stuff over off to the left. That's your files. And when you click, it opens it up in here. I do not know if Atom has a terminal built into it. Let's find out. I don't know if it has a terminal built in. I do know it has a robust package library that you could use to easily install packages. I'm not an Atom Pro, but I think it's something that you should give a chance. To. It was built by GitHub, and again, someone brought up the very good point last night of if Microsoft owns GitHub now and Microsoft makes VS Code, how much energy are they going to be putting into Atom, and is it going to eat Atom? I mean, probably, but I don't know. I like choice. So I give it a chance. Again, I think it's a beautiful, extensible editor. It is fast now. I messed around with it a lot last night just to see if it was fast, and it is fast. So go ahead and check that out. But again, if this is your first time and you don't really care, hop straight into VS Code is what you should download. Let's go over JetBrains a little bit. So we talked about editors versus IDEs. JetBrains makes IDEs and not editors. And again, the lines are being blurred between those. So something like VS Code, you could install enough plugins around Python to basically make it an IDE or give it the same functionality of an IDE. But JetBrains gives you these things out of the box. So JetBrains has some free editors, but they do charge for their IDEs. They have one for like you get them for specific languages. So PyCharm is the one for Python. PyCharm Community Edition is one of the most used editors or IDEs for Python, period. It is free. There is, I'll send you, let's see, I can give you the link. Yeah, the Community Edition right here is free. So I'll send you this link. Yeah, so you can check that out. You can download the Community Edition. I might as well download it. I don't have it installed. Go ahead and save that. Also tar.gz. I'll install that in a little bit. And cool. So this is the exact reason why I'm running this through my stream PC, because last time this would have a download of this size would have shut down the stream, to be honest. So this is good. Yeah, if you're a college student, you can get PyCharm Pro for free. If you're a college student, if you have a .edu address, you can really get any of their editors. Man, this is wrecking. It's wrecking my the server. You can get any of their editors for free. So JetBrains stuff is really good. If you're doing web development, WebStorm is excellent. If you're doing Golang is excellent. ReSharper, I've heard amazing things about ReSharper. That's something I've ever used. But yeah, they have a bunch of IDEs, and again, you do pay for them. You pay a subscription for them, but yeah, they are good products. I do every single one that I've seriously used and really given a chance to. I found it to be very. I found it to work really well for me, and they were tools that were worth paying for, to be honest. So check it out. I would download PyCharm, the community version of PyCharm. Check it out. So now the setup for it will be a little bit different. You will just install it, but you can't kind of just open files. There'll be a little bit of like workspace setup that doesn't exist in editors, but it should be something you should just check out and be able to have a little bit of fun with. Data grip is the truth. What is data grip for? I'm interested. Actually, very interested in what I haven't used all their stuff. Let's see. JetBrains. What is data grip for? Oh, many databases, one tool. That's awesome. I'll definitely check that out. I've never seen that before. Data grip is true. That's how I get all my stuff. I kill for an account. Yeah. PyCharm for free, but not WebStorm. Yeah, WebStorm's not free. ReSharper is solid. IntelliJ for Java is the best. Yeah, if you like Java, I've heard amazing things about IntelliJ. I think that's what really set them ablaze. Do you have a list of the extras you've mentioned tonight, such as Homebrew, Atom, etc.? If so, can you email them or add them to the classroom? Yes, I can absolutely add them to the classroom. And maybe I'll start adding in chat commands for them all. It's just a list of everything. Yes, I can add them to the classroom. VS Code, super awesome. It's for SQL. That's cool. This is really cool. I always like to find out about new. I don't know. I really love different editors and tools and stuff like that. But yeah, JetBrains is great. Again, VS Code is by far it's kind of taking the industry by storm, and it's something that everyone uses. But now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get into Vim. We're gonna spend a little bit of time talking about Vim. I'm really showing you to. I think Vim is an interesting editor for everyone. No matter what level you're at, I think it's interesting. I don't recommend you dive. I want you to know what Vim is if you're just starting out. I don't recommend you diving into it during this course. Not until later, way later, and again, just in your own time. But it's it's a good editor. I think it has there's some setup there that can make things easier for you. But once you get, there's a huge learning curve. Once you get the learning curve, once you get over that hump, it really is. It's very fast. Like you can edit things very quickly, very efficient. And then the biggest benefit is that if you're working on systems, I'm from a systems background. It's available on every distribution of Linux. It's the editor that will be there. So it runs in the terminal. So you don't get this beautiful graphical user interface. By default, it's actually pretty ugly, pretty bare bones. But again, it's a very complicated. The learning curve is high. I think one of the most searched things on Stack Overflow for a long time was like, how the heck do I exit Vim? Like a lot of people get into Vim and figure out how to edit some code and can't get out of it. So that's interesting. So we'll definitely be, I'll show you how to do that. But I'll show you just some of the shortcuts. I'll show you some of the benefits. I'll show you my setup. My setup's, my Vim is pretty customized. And another reason I want to introduce this to you is, especially on Twitch, I find that a lot of people who are doing tutorials, doing live coding and things like that, if you're following along, are using Vim. And it can be, if you're not introduced to it, it can be very confusing. Like what is this person doing? Like to not realize, it can be confusing. People who don't realize that all they're doing is editing code the same way that they would be in a normal text editor, because it looks like you're doing fancy stuff when you're not doing fancy stuff. But I think that the command focused flow of Vim, the shortcut focused flow of Vim will get you to be better at I think it'll help you get more comfortable like in the terminal and managing machine. I think it'll just help you become more comfortable with dealing with technology and learning new technology. I think it's a good, fun, approachable technology that will I think it encourages you to get better at other technologies. But again, this is all just how I feel about it. You may look at it and be like, this is a waste of my damn time. And that's fine. I'm okay with that, but I do want to introduce it to you and let you know why I like it a lot. Let's see. We'll be going over additional information aside from installation today, or we pick up with more coding next Monday. Yeah, the teaching of code, we'll be picking up with more coding Monday. If you maybe check out the curriculum today was just an introduction to Python3, installation, introduction to some editors, figuring out how to use an editor, just getting comfortable seeing an editor, and just kind of messing around a little bit was tonight. I'm trying to take this actually pretty slow. For a number of reasons. Again, like a lot of people have never seen any of this stuff. So even the act of installing an editor, and I learned this at like a GoBridge workshop. I was like, oh, like super easy. You just install this program and everyone's gonna know. You can just open up files and do this stuff. And man, we spent almost an hour just like people are like, oh well, now like is there more setup, is there this and that? So we're taking it real slow. So we'll definitely get to the point where we're hands-on, fingers ablaze and solving problems. It'll happen really fast actually. Like next week we'll be solving coding problems and all that stuff, but we're taking it pretty slow, just to give people time to like mess around with this stuff and to really ingest it. Yeah. So let's talk about Vim. So Vim, it exists in the terminal. So the main editor is VI is the editor of Vim, is VI improved. It's kind of the next level of it. VI doesn't really exist on machines anymore. It's all just an alias to Vim. But to open up Vim, if you want to open up your Vim editor, you type in Vim, and you get this here. And let you know, I use NeoVim. There's a bunch of different options you can use for it. But it opens up and it gives you some stuff, and it says help in Vim if you're new, and that will take you through a tutorial. There's some interesting tutorials on how to get through Vim. But why is Vim so beloved and also so hated? It's beloved and it's hated because, again, by default, you can't use your mouse inside of it. Unless that's changed, I had to enable things to use my mouse inside of it. I can use my mouse inside of it. But so you have to use your keyboard. And this is because Most of this is because when you're managing systems, a lot of servers and things, they don't have graphical user interfaces. So a graphical user interface is everything that you're seeing here. All these colors, everything is a graphical user interface. If I were to log into a server, I would basically be dropped into just this. This terminal is what you would get. You would log in and you would be dropped into this, and you'd have to manage the system via this. So if you were to do that, how do you modify files? Like how do you, if you got to get code on there, if you got to get something on there, like change configuration files, how do you edit them when this is the whole computer, all you have access to? And again, that is Vim. Vim is how you would edit those. There's other things like Nano and other editors from the terminal. But Vim is usually available. Nano is actually usually not available. So Vim is usually available. So you type in Vim, it'll open up Vim. Now, Vim is modal. So you can see here, as soon as I open it up, you can see here down in the corner, it says normal. Now, when I say modal, what am I saying? I'm saying that to do things in Vim, you have to get into a certain mode. So there are different modes. So right now we're in normal mode. And in normal mode, you can do things like give it commands. You can do things like navigate. But I'm going to go ahead and open up a file instead of doing it that way. So to open up a file, I'm going to make, let's go cd .. Ignore all this. So I'm gonna open up a file. So to open up a new file in Vim, there's a couple ways to do it, but we're just gonna do Vim and the name of the file. So I'm gonna say vim test.txt. Let's do python.py. All right, so I opened up a new file. It lets me know what the name of the file is right here. And look, because I have some customizations, it lets me know that that it knows that it's a Python file. But you do have to set that up. There is, if you hit exclamation point Vim, I think it's Vim settings, you will get a link to my Vim RC file. And this is the file that will help you achieve the same setup that I have. Again, don't sweat it. This is something that I will teach you all how to do. I just wanted you to know that it is available if you are familiar with this stuff. If not, we're gonna do a whole stream on how to get to my setup. Yeah, just helping you understand how to do all of that. But don't sweat that. But Vim has modes, like I said. So we're in normal mode right now. If I were to start typing right now, a bunch of random stuff will happen. Like if I try to type, I'm gonna type in hello, my name is Aaron. That's all I'm gonna type, and we're gonna see what happens. All right, so you can see here, well, I mistyped something, but we didn't get, until I typed in hello, like all of hello, nothing typed. And actually, I think if I type that in properly, nothing will happen. Hello, my name, oh yeah, never mind. Okay, my name is Aaron. All right, so super weird. Nothing happened. I can't type. Nothing happened at first, and then it started in at my name is Aaron. And that is because, one, I said it's modal. Where did I say you could look to find out what mode you're in? Check this bottom left here, and now you can see that it says insert instead of normal. Basically, to be able to write in Vim, to be able to put in input text, I've got to either be in normal mode or pinned mode. And that's how you have to do it. So how do you switch modes? And you can see here now I'm back to normal. The escape key is your friend. This is why a lot of developers didn't like the 15-inch and the 13-inch MacBook Pro when it got the touch bar, because there wasn't a physical escape key. When you use Vim, the escape key is very important. The escape key is how you go back to normal mode. So you can be hitting escape a lot. But to get into different modes, you got to use different keys to tell it to do that. So the modes that we're going to talk about right now are, one, how do we type? So insert mode. So you hit I for insert, simple. Get an insert mode, and now I can type in, hello, my name is Aaron. Cool. So now I was able to type it all because I was in insert mode. And now I can hit escape to get into normal. Is normal read only? Yes, normal is read only. Yes, this is a Vim tutorial. Hashtag ghost tags, shooter on fleek. But yes, this is it's not a Vim tutorial. It's an introduction to Vim. I just want to show people what it is, because I'll probably be using it for a lot of things, and I don't want to confuse people. If you're new to coding, this is just an introduction to it, just introducing you to it. I want to show you why it's so hard for people. I want you to know why, some people love it and why there's such a steep learning curve, just for you to be familiar with it, because it's something that'll come up in your career most likely. But I also want to give you enough information that, once we get deeper and deeper into the courses here, that you can go off and not be afraid to fiddle around with it and to learn it yourself, because it is pretty powerful. But yeah, so again, you got it's all about the modes. It's all about what modes you're in. So normal mode is escape. Normal mode is read only. It's read only. But then you can do something like this, and you can hit a colon, and that'll take you into command mode. And command mode can allow you to do a lot of things. So I'm actually gonna type in a bunch of stuff here. I'll tell you what I'm doing in a second. I'm gonna create a bunch of lines here. All right, and so you can see over on the left here, I have some line numbers. Command mode is pretty cool, because you can do a million things with command mode, but you can do a lot of just some simple items that you could do is, if I hop into a file and I need to navigate, because remember, you can't use your mouse to navigate in Vim. And let's say, I need to modify, let's say this file is right, but I need to get down to line 27 to be able to modify it. By default, I would have to so you see my mouse here, you would open up this file, and your cursor would be, up on the first line in that spot, and you would go all the way down to 25, and then you would go over and edit. But I can easily go command mode 25, and hit enter, and now I'm on line 25. So you can see here, let's say the line numbers, what line you need to get to. You've been working in the file. You can get to it super duper fast, and you'll start to see, as I start to show you more commands and more shortcuts, how fast it is to be able to navigate. So you can navigate with your cursor. You can navigate with the keyboard very, very fast. And again, that learning curve is high. Remembering what you have to type in, what you can do is overwhelming. You can also go into command mode with slash. And so let's say I do a slash. By default, this searches, so I can type in, let's type in DHBE. And now this will find every iteration of the DHBE, the same way we did function in the last file. Maybe I'll open up a new file and show you that. And I can just hit in, and it'll take me to every new iteration of this, which is cool. So it's really easy to hop into a file and search for something you want to find. Again, this is a bad example because this is a bunch of the same lines, which is pretty silly. Hit escape. Also, what I can do is, so now I'm back up to line 1. Also, you saw me copy all these lines. First, I can delete all these lines. So I'm gonna delete everything right now. Super fast. I just deleted everything in here. How was I able to do that? You can delete a line. You can simply delete a line by hitting the letter D twice. And look at that. Now, just like that, you can go ahead and delete a line. If I want to bring that line back, I just hit a U, and that undoes everything. And I can hit U, and I can bring everything back. And see, you're moving so fast. You can make changes so fast, and whoops, I made a mistake. Let me undo. And but actually, I do want to still delete that line, and I can do double D again. And I now deleted the line. And let's say, let's open up a real file. So I told you one of the things that's hard to do in Vim is to exit the file. We're in Vim. How do we get out of it? How the heck do we get out of Vim? To do it, you have to go into command mode, and you have to give it a command to exit. So the command to exit is Q. It's Q for quit. So remember I say you get into command mode, be the colon. So you do a colon Q, and you try to exit. Now, what happened? We're still in Vim. What's going on here? Well, check the bottom here. It gives us an error. It says, no write since last change. Add an exclamation point to override. You've seen this before. You've seen this in Microsoft Word. You've seen this in other document editing applications. If you make a change and you try to exit, it'll say, hey, looks like you made some changes. Would you like to save? yes or no. And that's basically what this is saying to you. It's saying you made a change. Would you like to save? Yes or no. And basically the no basically is adding an exclamation point to override. So I could save it. The command to save it is W for write. And so that's hard to remember in the beginning, to start thinking about saving files as writing instead of saving. So imagine a file is really just writing it to the disk. So W is the command to save. So I do a W, says it's written. Now I can go ahead and do a Q. If I go back into that file and I make a change to it, you can actually do that in one line. So this is commonly what you'll see is command WQ. So first thing it's going to do is write, then it's going to quit, and it'll do that all in one line. And so again, you can see how that would be annoying. Like that's annoying. That's a different paradigm than you're used to, being able to just hit Control S or hitting File and save. This is a very different paradigm, and it's hard to remember those things. Like it takes time to remember all these different things. Like you're just learning the basics of Python. You're just learning the basics of coding. You're just learning about what an editor does. And now you got to know that you can't use your mouse in here. And, oh man, how do I jump down to a new line? Or like, what if I just want to edit this section right here and I gotta go down and then I gotta go all the way over, and it's like, oh no, I can't edit. I gotta remember that I have to hit I to be able to actually type, and I have to get escape so I not typing anymore. Like all that's very complicated, but again, the more time you spend learning it, the better, the faster you can do things. So let me show you some other things that make it a lot faster. So let's open up Vim here. So I have mine actually set up to work like an IDE or like an editor, like a conventional editor. I have a plugin to sit some stuff off to the left, which is cool. So this kind of looks like your Visual Studio Code. And let's say I want to open up a file like this. Let me open up a bigger file. Actually, open up a bigger file for you. Let's go. I'm trying to see which. All right, so let's say we have this file right here. There's a bunch of stuff here. You see I'm using my cursor to get through it. Let's say I want to edit this line right here. What's very interesting is, let's say I wanted to edit, like I wanted to get all the way like over here. You can see here how yours won't look like this, but take a look at how there's some letters are changing colors here. I've installed a tool called Quickscope. And what it is it allows me to, Vim has a feature where you can hit the F key, and then you can hit a letter, and it will jump to the first iteration of a letter on that line. So I hit F, and if I hit Z, it'll take my cursor all the way over here. So I don't need to use the cursor. I don't need to use the arrows or F or H, J, K, L to get all the way over to here and go back and forth like that. I can just, from where I am, I can just go like this and move my cursor right and left really fast. And again, that may seem stupid right now, but when you're editing files and you're navigating via keyboard, it's fast. It's faster than a mouse. Like when you get it down, it's faster than a mouse. It really is. And you can just move so fast. And I can find if there are any functions in here. No, and I can see where the render is. Like I can search for things and see if there's any more iterations. It's I don't know. I guess once you get comfortable again with the shortcuts and stuff, the way you have to think about it is a little bit different, and the way you have to memorize what's going on is a little bit different. But yeah, it allows for just rapid development. And you can see here how I still get the color changes. I still get the benefits of all that. You can also see how, let's say if I wanted to do, I don't think I have any node auto completion, but things like auto completion also exist in here. Yeah, like auto completion exists and things like that. But I had to set some of that up. You don't get all of it out of the box. But again, now you know why. Hopefully now you can see why Vim is like super annoying to learn. But hopefully you saw some of those features and why it might be kind of fast for you to learn it, or why it might be fast for you to use it. Again, in the beginning, you shouldn't be both trying to learn what a variable is as well as how to type it out in Vim. Not a big deal at all. Just want to introduce you to it because a lot of people like it, because I like it, because I'll be using it. And when I'm in it, I don't want you to be super confused about all the stuff that's going on. I want you to be able to focus on the code and know what Vim is, know that this is no different than the editor that you're using. I could do the same thing. I could open this stuff up in VS Code and operate it the same way. It's very simple the way that I'm used to. I can use my mouse to put my cursor where I want, and edit this file this way. It's the same thing. It is a text editor. This is no different from this. Which I don't know what file I had open, but same thing. It's the same. You can see here how they even look similar. It's the same thing. But this thing right here is I have to use a bunch of different shortcuts and commands to be able to operate and to flow through it, which can be time consuming to learn, time consuming to set up and get good at. But once you get it, the payoff is huge. You can edit things faster. You can you have some. It actually has some more functionality that doesn't exist in some other IDEs and text editors. And it's going to be available anywhere you go. So again, if you end up getting a job where you have to work inside of systems, I know people who are software developers, and they're only allowed to develop on a server. They have to log into a server and develop all of their code on a server, where they do not have any IDEs, and they have to work out of an editor that exists in the console. And Vim is by a substantial margin is the best one. I know some people are on the Emacs train, but those people are incorrect. They're just wrong. Vim is great. Yeah, Vim is really good. So super simple. Not super simple, but a super simple introduction to what it is. Again, I want you to take away from it. I want you to take away from all of this that one, there are these text editors, these IDEs. All they're here to do is to, at the heart of them, the core of them, is just to edit your code, to be able to modify text. That's all they're really there for. You can modify text in Notepad if you want. These things are actually no different from Notepad. They're no different from Microsoft Word, really. You could write code in Microsoft Word if you wanted, but oh no, I knocked over my light. There we go. It's no different. It's no different than Notepad or Microsoft Word, but you wouldn't have all the sweet extras. Let's see. There we go. You wouldn't have all the sweet extras that these IDEs and these text editors give to you. And that they all, for the most part, do the same thing. You could use any of them that you would like for this course. Again, even Microsoft Word if you'd like. But again, you won't get any of the cool stuff. But feel free to open up your editor and mess around with it. Like, click through it and Google how to change your theme and how to install a new theme. You can install new themes down here. Things like, let's see, Darkula. So I can just install a theme like this, and then I can go ahead and click it. And now look at this. Now all of my colors are different. My whole editor is different. So you can mess around with it, like see what options are available to you. Don't worry about some of the other stuff. Like, yes, you can read up on like what this Git integration thing means. We're going to be doing a whole stream on Git and understanding what that is. But yeah, mess around. Like feel free to play. Like, feel free to explore, because you'll learn a lot during that exploration phase. But again, I just wanted to introduce you to some editors. I wanted you to get Python installed so that we can really get going next time. Again, now you have, what's today? Today's Wednesday. You have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to mess around with some editors, get it installed, to get Python installed. If you've been having trouble, again, post in the channels. Make sure you can get Python installed. Feel free to hop into the interpreter, but I want you to have time to play. I want you to have time to just get comfortable. Even if you want to go and watch a video on some on some Linux commands so that you can do everything from the terminal, you can feel free to do that. But you don't even need to do that. You can do everything you want through VS Code if you'd like. But go ahead and watch a video. Watch a video on like a VS Code tutorial, so that someone can show you all the features. Take this time to do those things in the Google Classroom. I think one of the assignments that I did give was to try these things out, try to do these different things, try to find the differences that you see between them, try to find things that you like, don't like about different ones. Even as simple as the colors. Like you may be like out of the box, you may be like, I hate the way that this looks, and therefore this is not for me. That is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There really is nothing wrong with that. But yeah, find out which one works for you. I want you to get comfortable with exploring, get comfortable with trying things, and the exercise of trying to evaluate the editor that you like is a powerful one. It's going to teach you some things that are going to be beneficial in your career about evaluating software, period. You'll pick up some tips on evaluating software. You'll get comfortable with evaluating software. Some of them you might have to install differently, so you might learn something about installing packages on computers. Yeah, there's a million things you can find out from trying these things, and I want you to feel comfortable and empowered to go do those things. Your Nightbot for Vim does not take you to your Vim. It takes you to a search. Am I correct? Your Nightbot for Vim. I don't know what that means, 88 Opus. My Nightbot for Vim. I don't know what that means. What OS is this? This is Pop OS, an Ubuntu spinoff. Yep. Made by a company called System 76. They make Linux computers, Linux laptops, Linux desktops. They have their own team that writes, firmware and software for their hardware, which is really nice. Works really well. But yeah. Oh, that stinks. I will find another job. I'm assuming that's if you had to edit on a server. Yeah. Or you could get really comfortable with Vim and it'd be no big deal. Maybe. There we go, to write Python plugin to add IntelliSense to Microsoft Word. Yeah, so that is what we should do. We should write a plugin for Microsoft Word to be able to write Python in it. But I don't know. I mean, I don't even have Word anymore though. I use Google Docs for everything. But I mean, I'm sure plenty of people still use Word. Hey, the Parmesian's here. Yes. Vim is the best. So that's why I actually brought people to you yesterday. I wanted people to see people like you using Vim. You're definitely you're a better Vim user than me because you're a much better typist than me, and that is what I'm working on this year, is to be a better typist. And then I'll be great like you. But yeah, I was just showing everyone that Vim is dope. That is great, and that you can do a lot with it. But for you who are starting out, stick with the VS Code for now, for sure. Wait, I can use one of those on a laptop. Didn't see mouse possess at all. Yes, you can. Classroom code. If you're subscribed, you should see the classroom code in your email. Emacs is to Vim as pancakes are to waffles. Hold on, let me think about that. You are incorrect. Vim is the better of the two, and pancakes are the better of the two. So I need you to switch those around, because pancakes are superior to waffles, as Vim is superior to Emacs. Nobody. If you've seen anyone using Emacs in the past 5 years, I don't know. I haven't seen anyone using Emacs, because Emacs is fine. It's fine. It's just not good. Why would you use Emacs when there are better options? Yeah. Oh, so did someone fix my VimRC? Leveraging the mastery of basic tools will be so beneficial. Yes. What content is included in the Google Classroom? The content that's included in the Google Classroom is just additional resources. Things like, actually, I think this week in the Google Classroom are things like Linux commands, basic Linux commands, because yeah, you're learning Python, but basic commands to be able to go ahead and run Python, to change directories, things like that. There's some, I think there's some, the Base CS podcast, which will give you a little more information about how computers process things and give you some basic computer science concepts. It'll be things like, there'll be all kinds of videos, there could be all kinds of problems for you to work on that we'll talk about during office hours. There'll be tons of stuff like that, but just extra resources to help you practice in the meantime. Like while we're not streaming, It'll give you some guidance on learning and practicing and things you can look at. There's all kinds of exercises in there, and there'll be exercises and resources for every single stream that goes on. Let's see. Whoa. No one really thinks pancakes are better than waffles, do they? Yes, they do. Again, we talked about this before. You guys rebutted nicely with the there's a Waffle House, but come on, we're talking about the International House of Pancakes. Like IHOP is the pancake king, and there are more IHOPs. There are definitely more IHOPs than Waffle Houses. There has to be. I'm very confident in saying that. How many IHOPs in the U.S.? All right, 1650 IHOPs. How many Waffle Houses are in the U.S.? Oh, it doesn't even come up. Oh no, that's more. Hold on, am I wrong? Oh no. Hold on. Let's. Oh, this is gonna hurt so bad. 2,100 locations. Hold on. How many IHOPs? Oh man, this hurts. No. This 2015. Maybe there's more. Man, I feel a little bit. I'm hurt. IHOP is still a superior establishment. What's interesting about Waffle House is only good if I don't know. I feel like the sketchiest Waffle Houses are the only good Waffle Houses, and I don't want to go to a restaurant where it has to be super sketchy for it to be good. My world has been shattered a little bit just now, but I will say that Waffle House also makes pancakes, and I would bet that more people order pancakes at Waffle House than waffles. How many Cracker Barrels are there? I don't even think Cracker Barrels makes waffles because they're not as good. How many? Ah, man, it's only 660. All right. Well, I told you I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong. So I was wrong about the number of Waffle Houses. I'm never going to be willing to admit, or not admit, to say that waffles are better than pancakes because they're not. Pancakes are. Lumberjacks eat pancakes. They don't eat waffles, and don't we all want to be lumberjacks? I would love to be a lumberjack. That's what everyone wanted to be when they were growing up. A lumberjack. Like who eats waffles? Like no iconic job or profession eats waffles. And you're probably going to correct me, but man, damn, that hurt. I'm not even gonna look at the chat because you guys are probably telling me that you got me. I was a cook at Waffle House. I never made a pancake. All right, I believe that. I have nothing to contest you on with that. Yeah, you just search Waffle House index. I don't trust you, but I'm gonna do it. All right, I just want to make sure this wasn't anything crazy like all the other terrible waffle things that are out there. See, there's no terrible pancake internet trends. There are at least two terrible internet waffle trends that we can't talk about on here because this is family friendly. Waffle House Index. Oh, informal metric used by the Federal Emergency Management Agency to determine the effect of a storm and the likely scale. Oh, wow. There's like a thing? Wow. Is this real or is this something people put together on Wikipedia? I'm gonna check this out. I'm gonna do some research on this. That's very interesting. Waffle House is drunk people food. IHOP's drunk people food too. I live in Atlanta. Coach owners of Waffle House children's soccer. Sure. I don't see pancakes on Waffle House's menu. Man, really? No one. I am not taking any responsibility for anyone who looks up blue waffles. Don't look up blue waffles. Don't look up anything anyone posts about waffles that's not about Waffle House, because it's a problem. The internet has damaged me. The internet has damaged everyone. Waffle House doesn't close, they stay open. Well, all right, I stand corrected. That does not mean I think that waffles are better than pancakes, but I will concede that maybe waffles are more popular than I thought they were. Pancakes are still the superior being. I do like waffles. I'll be clear here. You know, I'm not trying to straddle the fence. I do like waffles. They are very good. But to me, waffles are only good if they're made like pancakes, which is soft. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I like the team pancake here. No, I'm not backtracking. I'm just willing to admit, creative pigeon, I'm just willing to admit when I overestimated the popularity of pancakes. I really spoke highly that IHOP was far superior and more plentiful than Waffle House. I still think it's superior in quality, but it's certainly not more plentiful from what I was seeing here. From what the internet told us, you know, I gotta believe what I read on the internet. So I'm willing to admit that I was wrong about that, but pancakes are still far superior. Also, waffles are stupid because you can't make them without a waffle maker. That's dumb. I don't need, it's just a shape. It's a pancake that's shaped differently. At least, it's just a differently shaped pancake. It's a pancake. No, this is a pancake that's been burned into a different shape. That is superior for holding the syrup. You know, it is superior for holding syrup, but it is a pancake. It's a pancake with a different shape. Microaggression towards waffles. Yes, that's very true. My education, if I can't trust you with breakfast. I don't actually eat breakfast anymore. Right now, at least while I'm trying to lose some weight, it's working. I'm on this little intermittent fasting thing. I only eat between like noon and like 7:30. But when I go back, I will be eating pancakes for sure. You put the Eggo in the toaster oven and press the button. I mean, hey, I've eaten more than my fair share of Eggos in my lifetime. Again, waffles aren't bad. They're just not as good. It's coming to find Ruby being used in DevOps, or is Golang the go-to language for DevOps? Dev, great question. Thanks for switching us back onto track from all the waffle talk, which I'm sure we'll have lots of conversations about. Yes, Ruby definitely is used in DevOps. There were a bunch of DevOps tools that were built in Ruby, or still are, things like Chef. There's a lot of frameworks and things that are built in Ruby as well. Ruby is a solid scripting language as well. There are a lot of places that use Ruby to script. There's a lot of places that have applications that are built in Ruby on Rails and therefore use Ruby for their automation. Ruby is absolutely a viable language to learn if you're trying to go into DevOps. If it's something that I wouldn't recommend like that be the first choice if you have no programming language experience and you're just trying to dive into something. But if you've already got like a little bit of Ruby experience and you want to continue down that path, I think it makes sense. I think it's fine. And again, I think that if you're learning the concepts, you'll be able to apply what you know in Ruby to Python, to Golang, all that stuff. You'll be able to apply a lot of the basics to all those things. You don't need a waffle maker? You need a waffle maker. You definitely need a waffle maker. It's a crunchy pancake, yes. Yes, social justice waffles, for sure. Pancakes equals flat. Everything flat is terrible. Flat soda, flat taste, flat earth. But what about flat stomachs? What about flat fees? Maybe might be better. If you're gonna have a fee, flat fees for maybe bags when you're flying. Flat tables. Come on. What kind of, your table's not good if it's flat. A waffle table will be terrible. A flat table is where it's at. All things flat aren't a problem. I don't want to hear it. This is making me angry. I'm getting mad now. So where the toaster strudels stand? Toaster strudels are great. Toaster strudels are excellent. They're not sustainable. Like, you can't be eating toaster strudels every day. Like, that's fat. If you're eating toaster strudels every day, that's fat. I'm sorry. I think because growing up, toaster strudels were like because they cost more than, like, pancake mix was cheap, but like the toaster strudels, you got to get the pre-made ones, and like, you know, there's only a couple in there. You got the little packet, and you got to put the little stuff on there. I don't know, man. If you're eating toaster strudels every day, you're fat, but you're rich and fat. Yeah, you're rich and fat. I'm sorry. If you eat toaster strudels every day and I hurt your feelings, I'm sorry for telling you the truth. Or something else. Ruby and Gem's version of mismatch sucks. Yes. Ruby equals pancake. Python equals waffles. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing it. Flat pancake booty is a negative though. I'm done with this. I'm done. Wiffle balls. Nah. Nope. Do you have your Google Slides in Google Classroom? Yes, the slides are in Google Classroom. They are available there. Waffle table is pretty terrible only because you're forgetting the epoxy syrup. Yeah. Hamilton Multimedia, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Welcome to the family. Wait, so pancakes every day is okay? So pancakes every day is not okay, but in my mind, it's not as bad as toaster strudels every day. I think because toaster strudels every day to me is a show of it's a show of excess. Like if you can have toaster strudels daily, it's really a show of excess. It's like look at me, I can afford toaster strudels every day, which I know are not good for me. And I don't know, it provides a different paradigm. Again, lots of pancakes every day simply makes you a lumberjack. Like it's not fat, it's lumberjack. Lumberjacks are strong, lumberjacks have big beards, they work hard to cut down trees, and that's what a lot of pancakes get you. A lot of toaster strudels, I mean, maybe I just have a weird branding association with the I don't know, with the Pillsbury Doughboy. Maybe that's my problem, but yeah, man, I don't know. Toaster strudels every day just seems like a lot. It seems like a lot's going on there, but I will be down for it. I mean, my wife's getting her master's in nutrition, so she wouldn't allow it. But I would like to, toaster strudels. When I go back to eating breakfast, maybe I'll do 4 days of pancakes, 2 days of toaster strudels, and 1 day of waffles, because again, I don't hate waffles, it's not as good. How much does your build cost? Hold on. First, Reed, I can send you the email one more time. Yep, I can. How much does your build cost? My build costs right under $3,000. Yeah, the processor was the processor and the video card were most of it. Processor was like $750, and the video card was like $650. But yeah, right under $3,000. Again, it's mostly for video. I built it purely for video editing. It was an investment for video editing and streaming, obviously, but I'm going to be doing a lot of video editing this year, and game playing. So I went ahead and I just invested in that. Let's see. Did you post the first list of specs yet? The first list of specs for the computer, yeah, they should be below. Should be below the video and the PC specs. You should be able to see just about everything. I didn't post like the SSDs and stuff that are in here. If you've ever built a computer before, not having to have any SATA drives or run any SATA cables, power cables and stuff is super nice. Like I only have M.2 SSDs in here, and it was such an easy build. I do have 9 case fans, which is overkill, but it's fun. So I had a little bit of trouble getting all the fans to work. Didn't have enough fan headers, but I went and got some splitters and etc. But yeah, am I going to Tech Breakfast tomorrow? I might go to the Tech Breakfast tomorrow, which is at IHOP. So Fearless, the company that I work for, does a monthly Tech Breakfast, and it's at IHOP. It's not at Waffle House. It's at IHOP because, again, pancakes are houses of pancakes are better than houses of waffles. But I might go. Tomorrow's Hutch year 2 starts tomorrow, so I'll get breakfast there. So it's kind of, I don't really want to eat 2 breakfasts because I have pretty much no willpower. If there's free breakfast around me, I'm gonna eat free breakfast because that's what you do when there's people offer you free food. So I don't know. Depends on what time I go to bed tonight. Slack, you got the Slack thing. Crazy how AMD is eating Intel's lunch nowadays. is it? It is wild. It is crazy. Cost of performance, like my other computer, the build before this, it's at home now. That's what I use my home computer. It's got a 2700X, and it was so much cheaper. That build was so cheap in comparison to the Intel build that I was going to do before it, and the performance was amazing. I overclocked it a bit, and yeah, man. I mean, right now, bang for your buck, like this Ryzen 9 3950X, like. I've done no overclocking on it. I've run some tests. I've run some render tests, everything. Like, it is nuts. It is ridiculous. And especially for the price point. Hopefully, you know, it stays reliable for years to come. But man, it's crazy. Explains it. If you ate waffles because your wife is a nutritionist and pancake has less batter than waffles, so you are living off scraps. Kinda. That is, yeah. Ryzen 9, right? Yep. I work at NVIDIA now. I'll see if I can get some discounts. Yeah, I mean, so I still like NVIDIA GPUs. Right now in this build, I have the Radeon 7, and I only have the Radeon 7 because one, it was on sale at Micro Center, and two, because I'm a big fan of open source software. I wanted to switch my video editing from Adobe Premiere, from the Adobe Creative Cloud to DaVinci Resolve, because they do make it's not open source, but they do make it for Linux as well. And one, I would like to support that, and two, Resolve can utilize it's efficient and it utilizes all the extra cores as well as AMD's graphics processors a lot more. So I'm switching to that. So that's why I wanted to go all in AMD. But NVIDIA GPUs have more features for sure, like especially for streaming and stuff, like having a little extra chip on there for the NVENC encoding and stuff is pretty darn cool. So I love NVIDIA stuff. Probably upgrading my home rig to like a 2070 Super or something. I think I got a 1070 Ti in there right now. Did an experiment with water cooling. How crazy does your PC need to be nowadays? Not crazy at all. You can build a crazy powerful PC for like $600, $700. You can build like a monster rig that can do 4K video editing, play a bunch of games. Like your PC does not need to be that crazy nowadays. Again, I actually plan on doing some. I'm actually, like, something that really interests me is I really love video and cinematics. So I'm actually going to be investing a lot of time and energy into creating very cinematic videos and doing a lot of stuff. So I figured I'd just invest, and I want to be able to play a bunch of games at high resolutions while I'm here as well. So yeah. Did an experiment with water cooling. So I have an all-in-one water cooler for my CPU. It's like a Cooler Master, like all-in-one AIO cooler. So it's water cooled, but no custom water cooling. Too much work. Wish Fearless had any listings at the new office for DevOps. But from the new office Fire Mixtape, do you mean the one down in Alabama? Because I think they do. And if not, let me know. Let me know. I'll definitely. I think we're always looking for people down in the office in Alabama. Yeah. Need a good PC to run all the Chrome tabs. That's true. Chrome kills. I actually might get another 32 gigs of RAM just because of all the Chrome tabs that I do keep open. 2700X that you got, super sweet. Yeah, 2700X, man. To be honest with you, the only reason I did, not the only reason I did this build, but one of the reasons I did this build is just for tax purposes. I had some money left over that I was trying to invest back into the channel and help it grow. I didn't know what to do for the end of the year, so I just did a build. But the 2700X was working out really well for me. But I like it. It works super well, but this 3900X is a different animal, like different leagues apart. I did I transcoded like 20 gigs of video off of a camera, off of some SD cards into like H.264. It's like this computer did it in like a quarter of the time the 2700X did it. And yeah, I think as I'm starting to do things this year, it's gonna really show up good for me. A Vulkan fan, I don't know. I haven't really messed around with Vulkan that much. I'm not sure. I'm definitely new to AMD GPUs. Yeah, I'm new to GPUs for sure. I mean, not to AMD GPUs. It's probably fine. None on the site. I'm graduating in May. Gonna finish your DevOps course so I can be ready. Oh, dude, send me an email. Send me a message. That's awesome. I think we're where you graduating from, and yeah, I think we're gonna be looking for people down there a lot. So definitely let me know. I can put you in touch with the right people here, and you can start the conversation now to get ready for graduation. On the foundation for the roadmap. Cool. Yeah. All right. So it's 10:50. Like I said, hopefully everyone knows that you can leave anytime that you want tonight. We're pretty much done with everything for tonight. I'm just chatting it up now. Yeah, a little bit of Vim. I was just showing you guys a little bit of Vim at this point. So now, this first week for both courses was basically just an introduction to what it is that we're going to be learning, a very light introduction to kind of get you ready for the stuff that we're going to get into next week. But next week, we're coming in hot. We're coming in hot with code. We're coming in hot with, I think, actually, let's take a look at the syllabus really quick for anyone who hasn't seen it. Next week, we're coming in hot on Monday with getting input, displaying output, variables, and fun with strings. So we're gonna learn a lot next week. This is gonna feel super fun for anyone who's super brand new to coding. Because of the instant gratification you're gonna be able to get with a lot of this stuff, with like printing stuff out and doing some string modifications and string manipulation, and getting input from users and using that for other things. I think it's gonna be really fun. Specifically, this course is designed as an introduction to programming for people who haven't touched this stuff. There's probably a lot of you who have touched this stuff, and you probably won't feel super cool until we get a little farther down into maybe this area. But yeah, starting next week, we'll hit this input, output, variables, and fun with strings. We'll learn more about data types, and this is not even just learning about data types. This is actually us doing problems and things that really show the difference between data types and how to do type coercion and change things from one type to other types and things like that, and just showing you how types interact. So that should be exciting. So those are two things that we're going to be doing next week in this course. For DevOps, we're actually going to be doing the same thing. Next week in DevOps, we are going to be doing the same thing, very similar things with Golang. So we're going to be going a little bit faster in the Go course because we only have 2 classes to teach you guys all about programming. Because there's so much more to learn for DevOps, and we're just trying to get you introduced to a coding language. But we're going to be doing a lot of the same, but with Go instead. But again, we're moving a little faster over on this side. But I think it's going to be pretty fun next week. It's going to feel like you're finally going to feel like you're starting to do something, and getting to try some stuff and show you some cool stuff. You can't DM me on Twitter. You should be able to DM me on Twitter. If not, go ahead and send me an email at but yeah, I think I said I lied to you guys a little bit earlier. I was supposed to, I did not get a chance to respond to all my messages last night just because we went a little bit late, and when I got home, I had to take care of some stuff at home. So tonight I'm going to try to catch up on all that. I see all your messages. I'm going to get to everyone before the week is out for sure. I'm gonna see how many I have tonight, but I will get back to everyone. That's going to be my commitment. Last time the commitment I was trying to make was like 24 hours. The commitment now is just by anything sent this week. It'll probably be tough between Sunday and Wednesday because I stream all those days, but I'll be catching up on all that stuff in the remainder of the week. So you should always get a response back in at least a week. Yeah, at the most a week. It should be just a day or two. Usually, I'm figuring out a schedule for that. Yeah, just to make sure I can get to everyone. Yeah, but besides that, I think that's everyone. Do you recommend doing both? Like, if I'm already familiar with Python, should I go do the other stuff? Yeah. Well, I mean, so yes, it depends on what you want to do. Are you a developer? I think the other stuff in the DevOps course is very valuable to devs. I actually think it's valuable to anyone who works on software. I think it's very valuable. We cover a lot over on that side. So I do recommend that course. Even if there's like, again, I would take a look at the curriculum, and maybe if there's things you don't care about, maybe you don't care about Go at all, but you always wanted to learn Linux, or you always wanted to learn the cloud or containers or something, or Kubernetes. We're doing all that stuff, so you can just hop in where you want if you'd like. If you're not sure, are you Slackbot on Slack? No, I am not Slackbot. Slackbot is Slack's automated Slack person. DM'd you on Slack about classroom invite, nothing in my spam traffic, etc. I can send you. Hold on, let me whisper you right now. Hold on 1 second. I'm sending you Mondragon FX. I'm sending you the stuff that you need. I've blocked whispers from strangers. I'll disable whispers from strangers, but let me oh, actually, what did it say? Let me send you the email really quick. It's gonna send it in 2 parts, I think, because there's a character limit on what I can send you. Oh, there you go. No, it's it. So Mondragon FX, you should have it, but it should be from my personal account, which is Brooks A321 or whatever. So you should have that. Let's see. Back up here. Why is Go, Python in the DevOps course? So Go is used in the Python course for 2 big reasons. One being that I think for a course like DevOps, when I'm trying to just introduce you to a lot of topics, I think because Go is a compiled, statically typed language, there are more concepts there that will be valuable. So the DevOps course, because of what DevOps is, I'm basically getting you started on a bunch of things, and it's up to you to kind of go further and dive deeper into them. And I think all of the concepts that a statically typed compiled language provides gives you a little more information about programming. Gives you there's more to cover there, and I think it's a little more valuable in that vein. Also, Go is becoming a huge language in DevOps as well. Python could have been fine as well, but again, because we're only covering such a short piece of it, the goal isn't to learn Go. The goal is to understand the concepts that come out of these programming languages, and I think Go is a little bit better for that paradigm than Python is. So I might end up doing a full Go bootcamp as well, but I think Python is more applicable to a bigger subset of people. I think more people can use Python and make it more immediately applicable. I think you could run through this Python workshop, and you could really set yourself on a course to get a job pretty fast. You could apply it again to systems administration. You could apply it to all kinds of stuff, machine learning, things like that, and be able to get a job. So I think doing a longer Python course was just a little bit more valuable. But that is why. And I think I forgot to say that there's a lot of DevOps tooling that's built in Go. Again, it's becoming bigger. So things like Docker, things like Terraform, things like Kubernetes, all built in Go. I think those concepts are a little bit better. Cool. Right now, I'm a help desk with aspirations for DevOps, maybe development. That's where I started. I started in help desk, learned a lot there, and just worked my way up. Help desk, and moved on to systems administration. That was the jam at the time, and systems engineering, and moved into DevOps, and that's how I got where I am now. How will you connect us to the Discord chat? So, I can send you the link. I think. Let me see if I'm logged in. I don't know if I'm logged in this computer or just my desktop. I might be logged into some different Discord stuff on here, like KBD fans and some other keyboard stuff. I can try to send you the link. If you are a subscriber, I think if you enable like the Twitch Discord integration, like it should show you that I'm an available option, and it'll let you in. Yeah, I said I was going to learn what to do with Discord this week, but I didn't have time to like learn how Discord works. Yeah, I didn't really have time. I know a bunch of people had already joined. Let me see if I can figure that out. Want to get into data science, so I'm looking forward to the Python course. My question is, what are your thoughts on learning R after understanding Python a bit better? I think it will be smooth. I don't know. I don't know R. I can only go off of what I don't know why this is taking so long. I can only go off of what I've heard. And I do think after understanding Python a bit, you'll be able to understand R a bit better. But I think R comes with its own set of challenges. But I don't think it'll be smooth, but I do think it'll make it a little bit easier. And someone definitely correct me if I'm wrong. Again, that's not an area I have a ton of expertise in. Are there any changes from the last time for the DevOps course? Yes, there are some changes for the DevOps course. Mostly, there's not a lot of changes in the content that's covered, but there's a lot of changes in the way that the content is delivered. A lot more of it will be project based to make it to put some context around things and to make it a little bit more digestible. We'll be hopping straight into projects instead of spending as much time kind of just talking about it. So yeah. Just an email. Dope. Thank you. And I'll be subbing for sure. Awesome. Again, thank you for supporting. I thank everyone for supporting me. Hopefully, we're trying to work something out right now, but hopefully, everyone on the channel, even though those of you who supported me, hopefully everyone will be able to start attending all 3 months of this for free. Working on that now. Hopefully, I'll have some updates for you soon on that one. So hopefully I can save you guys. You can use your Twitch Prime subs for something else, or your Twitch subs for something else. Hopefully, but I'll give you more information about that once I get some confirmations. How do I get the link to Google Classroom? If you're subbed, just shoot me a whisper, and I will send that over to you, or you should get it in your email. Okay, so this is not the one that my mastermind is on. You can see here I'm in a bunch of random Discords, like some of these keyboard ones. Let me open up the one on my desktop and see if I can get the link. I know that one is. All right, cool. This one's here. There's only a couple people in here. Link. I think it's already set up to be sub only, so I guess I can post it, and anyone can join. Invite people. Copy button. You know what? Yeah, we'll just paste that. See if you can get in Discord that way. If you're subbed, it should let you in, because I'm pretty sure I set that up right. If you're not subbed, it'll probably boot you in a couple days whenever I figure out how to do that. I do. But again, the Slack's open for everyone. Python Tutor. Yeah, I've seen Python Tutor before. I've heard good things about Python Tutor. I'm in help desk, but I do the work of a systems admin, manage firewall servers. Yeah, so yeah, you're doing what a lot of people, what a lot of jobs for DevOps are doing. They're just adding in some automation with some DevOps tools and things like that. So that's dope. I think all of that experience will really help you move into that. I don't enable Twitch and Discord. Yeah, see, those are the things that I was trying to figure out. I did figure out how to do it. I was trying to like write up a little tutorial about how to like connect the two, because again, something I'm new, but it looks like you guys got it covered. How does it know I'm a sub? Yeah, it's that integration definitely lets you know, because I think I got myself in the channel, like my personal account. I am double dipping a little bit. I'm using my personal account. My personal account is subbed to this. Of course, not detecting any input from your mic. No, I don't want to do. And I'm using I'm an Amazon Prime subscriber, so I use mine for myself, which is cool. Fudging the numbers a little bit, but it's all good. All right, Fire Mixtape, gotta go. Have a good night. I'll see you all next week. Actually, I'll see you Friday. I will stream. I am gonna stream Friday. I'm gonna stream earlier on Friday. I have somewhere to go Friday night, but I think I'm gonna stream earlier. I'll do some office hours a lot earlier on Friday. Maybe I'll start around 6 and I'll go for as long as I can. But again, I'll just be on here. You can come ask questions. I'll probably be playing some games, playing Overwatch or something. And I'll just cool out and just let you ask questions. Again, catch up on things. But yeah, rest. Yeah, I will be. That'll be resting. It'll be fine. It'll be good. But yeah, so good night, everyone. Thanks for another great stream. I think you guys asked some great questions tonight. Yeah, go ahead and try to. If everyone who's already got in the Google Classroom, check out the resources there. Try a couple of those things. I put some challenges in there, some things for you to do, some to try out right now, so that I don't know, to help you get in the right headspace for what we're going to be going into next week. If you're new to all this, again, click around, mess around, go watch some videos on the features that these text editors have. Maybe look up a VS Code video and its features and things like that. But just start immersing yourself. Start immersing yourself in this stuff. Again, it's okay to feel uncomfortable. Like, you don't need to memorize all of it right now. It'll all come. Just start hearing it, start doing your best to try to remember what different things are doing, what different things mean. And I'm telling you, before you know it, you will be excellent at this stuff. And it'll be like a snowball. You'll start to gain some knowledge, and you'll start to realize like you're getting it and that you can do it. And then you'll start to pick up more and more and more. And you'll start believing you can do it more and more and more. And before you know it, you'll be great. So just get ready for the next week. Appreciate you doing this. Absolutely. Cool. I definitely need to be in good health. I did get super sick, but no, I've taken steps to do that. That's why so before I start streaming, I was doing like I was averaging about 5 hours of sleep a night. But that's like been my whole life. Like, that's kind of what I did. But every night this week, I've gotten 7 to 8 hours of sleep, making sure that happens. I'm working out and making sure I'm eating right. Definitely doing my best to stay healthy. Definitely doing my best to stay healthy. I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all looking out for me. But yeah, definitely. Everybody have a good night. Maybe I'll send any of you who are still watching, I'll send you guys back over to the Primesian, just because, again, channel I like. If you hate them, if you don't like them, you can leave. But I'll send you guys over there, just because it's fun to do. So yeah, have a good night. I wonder, can I stop streaming once I raid somebody? I don't know. Let's see. We're gonna find out tonight. Maybe I'll send you over there and then you'll go away when I stop streaming. Raid the Primesian. Invalid username /raid. How do I do it? Oh, he's not even on right now. Okay, never mind. I'm not sending you guys anywhere because he's not on. Actually, I'm sending you to Coding Garden. Good luck. I do like Coding Garden. I'll stick around on there for a little while. But yeah, have a good night. I'll see you on Friday or next week for everyone's coming back next week. We're going to be going there in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.